Man, I wish we had never started a podcast.
So do all who live to give hot takes. All we can do is decide what to do with the mics that are given us.
And we have decided to do Cinema Forecast, the movie podcast where every month we are randomly assigned a category by the legally distinct movie roulette. Fuck.
Well, we're not even doing that this
Yeah.
month.
You know what? Keep it in. Also, look, it's Connor. My guy Connor is here.
Yo, back at it again.
I'm Alfredo. I feel like I stopped saying that as much. I'll remind y'all. I'm Alfredo. I'm Fredo. You can call me either. Just don't call me late to dinner. Don't call me late to a fellowship of sorts, a gathering, if you will. Yeah. We're not doing our usual thing where we got a category. I mean, we do have a category. It is a franchise.
Yeah.
It is the Lord of the Rings films.
Yeah.
We're watching the first of Sir Peter Jackson's trilogy.
Yeah, I think we were just like talking about what if we did something special at the end of the year. And we knew we wanted to do one episode that was like the repicking of everything we're doing. The draft.
The big bad draft.
The big
board.
Yeah. So we're like, well, we could do a trilogy. First trilogy that came to mind.
Yeah.
Best trilogy in my opinion.
Wow. High praise.
I love these movies deeply. I mean, there's so much nostalgia there for me too, especially with the music. But man, rewatching it even though I just saw like a year ago, man, I'm still just so struck by these movies.
Yeah, cool movies. Do you remember the first time you saw Fellowship of the Ring?
I believe it was like the release time, like 10 p.m. or something the night before.
Like on the Thursday.
Yeah. And I saw it 6 times in theaters. The most I've ever seen a movie in theaters.
Wow.
By a lot.
Wow. I think I saw this one twice cuz I saw it in theaters with my dad and my sister, maybe the night it came out, I'm not sure. And then I saw it again for my friend Nate's birthday party, and I fell asleep for like half of it in the middle because I was like, I already know what happens, and I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, that's fair. They're very long movies.
Yeah, very very long, but I mean engaging, entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely some stuff where like I watch it and I'm like, okay. But I mean, I guess the original cut of the movie was like 4.5 hours or something like that. So,
yeah, and I was pushing for the extended editions, but it's a lot of work to and a lot of time to go over such long freaking movies.
Yeah, I just want to jump real quickly to the last episode. I didn't really remember watching Goodfellas for the first time, but I was talking to my sister over Thanksgiving, and she reminded me that the first time we watched it was at Juan's parents' house with Juan in his movie room, and she had this very specific memory that we were drinking beers and we had little sweaters on the beers.
That's cute. Very
cute. Yeah, so that's probably the first time I watched that. But
that's awesome.
But back to Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings. I'm pretty sure I played some of these songs in band as well, just because they were, I think.
That's awesome. I love the soundtrack so much. I mean,
it's a great score.
Maybe my favorite film soundtrack. Again, so much of it's just like the emotional nostalgia in it, but like also the themes have resonated with me more as I've gotten older.
Yeah, for sure. I was, and I was thinking about like what are the big things that are standing out thematically within these movies. And of course, it is like a classic story of good versus evil.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I think a lot of it as well has to do with the corruption of power, right? Like how power corrupts one. And so the sort of being able to go between like going from being good to being evil, right, through this corruption. Then I think the one that works the best for me, well, I think there's two that like really are very meaningful to me, I think, and provide some of the best like emotional moments in the movie, and that is that even the smallest thing can have like an impact and like change all of history, right?
I love that.
And then the one that is like kind of like king of the mountain is like friendship, like, and fellowship, right? Like, and that's why rewatching this movie, I was like, Sam is one of, I think, the greatest characters like ever created.
Sam, dude.
Like, actually watching it, I think I had so much more sympathy for Frodo when I initially watched the movies, but now I even am some at certain points I'm like, all right, dude, like, all
Dude,
right,
Sam
I
is
get it.
always the big tearjerker for me in these movies.
Well, he's so positive because Frodo's like so emo, like so crushed by the
Right.
weight, and I think it's probably because I see Frodo and I'm like, that's what I'm like. I'm just like, kind of pathetic, really like gloomy, and like Sam is like represents this like optimism or like drive to continue that
Yeah.
like I sometimes wish I could find more of within myself.
Yeah, and Frodo's suffering under this huge weight, and Sam, like, just the devotion he has to him. And one of the things that really hits so much harder for me over the years is learning more about Tolkien and how, he fought in World War One. He was writing this during World War Two, like living during some of the craziest times in all
He's
of
super Catholic. This is a Catholic story. This is for all our Catholics out there.
I think that's like the biggest part of its longevity. If I could pick one, the world building, of course, is amazing. But the overcoming darkness through like the human spirit and like things and like not giving up and holding on and friendship and like all that stuff, I think is just so powerful, especially coming from someone who experienced so much horror. I recently read, I think it was like one of the biggest battles in World War One. Him and Hitler were actually on the same battlefield fighting each other.
That's wild.
So like when I think of the lore, like Silmarillion, Morgoth, and then like the next generation of like Sauron, like the evolution between World War One and World War Two in his eyes.
Yeah, for sure. No, that is super wild. I find I find a lot of things about the stories very compelling. The movies I think are like very fun way to interact with it because I have at some point do intend to revisit the novels, but I got into like the first couple chapters of Return of the King, and I just stopped because I honestly like I could not like stay engaged. I found his writing to be very like dry at the time.
Yeah.
And I've definitely talked to people before who, I think it's not like an uncommon thing to like think. And I do like I have even like, argued in the past that like that what's so much more compelling is like the world building, and that's why like I will watch like a million YouTube videos, and I got really into watching like lore videos about Lord of the Rings at one point, and like the whole mythology is very very dope. But yeah, I want to revisit the books again. I do really like the movies a lot. I definitely think I'm coming in being the one who's not quite as I like these. I don't know, like I don't think I'm as big of a fan of them as you are.
For sure.
And
I mean, these are some of my favorite movies. And like I also have this layer of even more emotional connection to it because my dad used to read The Lord of the Rings to me when I was like, putting me to bed at night and stuff.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
just
for
like
sure.
all these layers,
Yeah, very cute, very cute. Good stuff. But yeah, let's fucking talk about it because it is a 3-hour movie.
Yes, actually, I do have 4 themes. There's a lot. I love some of the ones you did. I also like overlap here. Humanity's perseverance. I think that sums up like a couple like ideas you were talking about. Corruption of soul. You talked about that as well. And then originally I just put friendship as number 3 as well, and then I added love and loyalty but like yeah, it's all of it. The fellowship.
Yeah, I mean friendship,
kind of,
love, and loyalty. Those all like sort of like feed into one another.
One of my favorite themes that didn't really click with me until like many like rewatches of this is just like evil destroying itself, and I wrote that originally just as like its own sentiment, but then I added when opposed by number 3, which is friendship, love, and loyalty. And there's so many like reoccurrences of that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let's get into it. I mean, like, amazing soundtrack right from the very beginning.
Yeah, so another movie starting with some voiceover, a big exposition sort of drop, giving you all of the sort of like background with the different rings being created. Also, so originally I think they thought about having, and I think they had him record it. They had Elijah Wood record this, and even Ian McKellen recorded a version, but they ultimately decided to go with Galadriel because it kind of like points to the timelessness of the elves.
Yeah, I could be misremembering. I think they might have had Christopher Lee as Saruman doing it at one point.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they had like several people record it. But she breaks it down. I mean, if you don't know, let us tell you, there were some rings made.
Yep.
They're disseminated amongst people. I guess the elves technically made their own rings. I guess is part of the original lore. And when they find out that Sauron can like read their minds with it, because I think he can't really influence them, he can just read their minds. They just like take them off and they stop. And then you got the 7 that are given to the dwarves.
Yep.
And I think there's some implications that like they're just sort of like well, I mean, with the Elrond sort of says like this throwaway line about how they're just like looking for like more wealth. So it's like
who above all else desire power.
Yeah.
Corruption of soul for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then there were the 9 that were given to the men. These men being the people who become the Nazgul, right?
Yes.
So you got Sauron. He made a ring for himself.
Pretty good one.
One ring. He made the ring.
He made the ring, yeah.
The ring, you know. Shout out Magic the Gathering. To rule them all, you know, darkness, bind them, all that shit. Well, you know it. Come on. I love Hugo. Come on, you know it. We're doing the hits. We're doing all the stuff. Hugo Weaving is fucking back. That's it.
Yep.
I don't think we haven't done. I don't think we've had Ian McKellen in a movie yet. I think we haven't had a lot of these people. And these
great
are
cast.
Yeah, I mean these are huge actors.
So many were just up and comers when this movie came out.
And so many were already greatly established,
absolutely.
well-known actors.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Jonathan Rhys-Davies, who is consequently the tallest member of the cast, even though he plays a dwarf. Pretty funny, right? I guess his name is just John Rhys-Davies, not Jonathan. John Rhys-Davies.
Right.
Yeah,
that is wild. I mean, all the practical effects they did for this in general.
The force perspective is pretty cool.
Yes, the costumes, the design, the sets, dude, are insane. Rivendell, Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they're very, very elaborate. I think they also made this decision stylistically to help with some of the digital elements where they do give everything kind of this like a lot of shots almost have this like unreal sheen to them that I think helps some of the CGI
ahead of their time. I would say like so much of it still holds up so well.
Yeah. I mean, I think in the past I think I'm a little bit like maybe easier on some of these things and don't get like as distracted by them so much. I think it has like there's certain things that'll really like bother me, but with this one it was just like, I mean, there was a point where I'm like looking at Gollum and I'm like, yeah, I know that's like not real, but like still creepy, still good, you know?
Yeah.
I also really like a lot of stuff they do with the sound design of like the different creatures.
Yeah.
Like the orcs and the goblins. All of that shit is super well done.
Yeah.
All of the technical elements, the cinematography, it is really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
And it is funny like reading about how this movie has made New Zealand so much fucking money. Oh yeah. And how it is like almost like
what a commercial.
Yeah, exactly. It's like almost like this like visit New Zealand, you know, like they're on these like beautiful like rolling hills.
Insane. So diverse.
Yeah, it was really dope. It was really awesome. I love that part of it as well, like love and adventure. Yeah. But so fucking Isildur, dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't cast the ring out even though Elrond tells him to.
Yeah, humanity's perseverance here. When all hope had faded, Isildur took up his father's sword.
Yeah, he wasn't even the king yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he had just technically become the king because his dad had just died.
Yeah, and I love just that. Yeah, that immediate corruption of it shows the best and worst of men, right? Standing up like with a broken sword to the face of like evil itself.
Yeah, it was pretty badass.
And then immediately corrupted.
Yeah. He decides to keep it, loses it. Gollum finds it. We get the My Precious at the beginning. And then we're into the modern era, right? The Third Age, I believe it is.
Yes.
And first shot, Frodo sitting, you know, under a tree, just like reading a book.
Man, the way the Shire's set up, the music, just the vibe. Again, I think of Tolkien off at war, like thinking of home, like just thinking of like what he's protecting, you know. And I think establishing the Shire as such a like anchor to these characters really just adds this whole weight through the movie, like the longing to go back to what they had.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a very beautiful place. I also think it's interesting. I immediately think of like in the first like when we start in the Shire, I was started thinking about the part that's like not in the movies that's in the books where they go back and it's like all destroyed. And then we'll talk about that later as well with the mirror, but this is a very interesting choice to me. And also like very funny cuz I never read that part in the book when I found out that that's like a thing that happens and I was like, "Oh, that seems so silly."
It would have been a very tough thing to fit into the movies. Yeah, I think they make some changes in these movies I don't love from the books.
I think some people though with just specifically with that part, I think some people even criticize that in the books as being like a weird little like end subplot.
It's like a second climax after you've already had the main climax and like
they defeated evil incarnate. Well, not even incarnate. They just feel.
I think he's trying to say a lot of things like thematically about that, but we'll get to that in Return of the King.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in Return of the King.
That's right. Yeah, Gandalf in town. Love Gandalf.
Yeah, the first thing we hear of him, we just hear him singing.
Yeah, I love that song. It sometimes just gets stuck in my head.
I don't even remember what the
road
lyrics.
Goes on down to the door. Okay, yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah. You know what? I immediately forgot it again. Oh, the road goes on.
I will follow it if I can.
We have the thing too is watching this. I'm like, wow, so many like memes.
Oh, I know,
born from this
endless
movie.
Memes.
Yeah.
Just a very like, I think nostalgic movie for a lot of people when this came out.
Yeah, I mean these movies came out during like when I was like becoming like transitioning from a child to like a teenager. Like this one I think was what year was it?
2001.
That's what I thought. 2001. So like, yeah, I mean, I feel like I kind of grew up watching this sort of like journey.
Yeah, and it is kind of what started the whole like huge budget fantasy stuff after this. Like, I don't think we have Game of Thrones without Lord of the Rings or something like Lord of the Rings that ignites this whole like, okay, let's start throwing money at this.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I think I don't know. There are some high budget fantasy films in the past, I think. But yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely like a big sort of like a big like pop culture point,
like high
with
fantasy epic based on like beloved series, like they just started pumping them out after that.
Yeah, and I think perhaps that's like honestly I think you could criticize it opening that up because a lot of those are like not great.
Yeah, but that's the same with any big trend.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, there's the good and the bad. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So Gandalf is late, but he's not late, of course. Y'all know this. Anyway, it's Bilbo's birthday party.
Yeah.
Pulling up to see Bilbo.
I just love this whole section, just pulling through the Shire with this track playing and the kids and the fireworks and everything. It's just so, I don't know, it just feels special. Just so, like, it's just capturing such a unique, evocative feeling. It's the only way I can put it, really.
Word. Yeah. I mean, it all it all looks really cool. The Hobbit house is very cool. I like the comedy of Gandalf walking around Bilbo's house and being too tall for it.
Yep.
Him hitting his head is unscripted as well, and he just like kind of plays it off, which is really good.
Yeah.
So they kept it in there.
I'm just like always watching, trying to see how they did this forced perspective stuff because it's so cool. Because like they're sitting at the table together, and you could see like the one side of the table is like pushed way closer to the camera if you really look for it. Like, but it's so seamless,
Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's very convincing. Like, and it is very striking to see like the differences in like in their scale, which is another thing that like I think is just like such a part of this story, but also like the movies is the sense of scale. There's all these like wide shots, that I shout out, all of these like establishing shots or traveling shots, and then there's all these close-ups of the ring and of people's faces, and there are these huge creatures like cave trolls, and there are these like small, people like hobbits, and just how like all of them have a part to play like within it. I think it's very cool. I think it's like reinforcing all the ideas of like even the small, like power can be held in the smallest of things, which is what it said on the movie poster I had of Fellowship of the Ring on my bedroom for many years. It was just a picture of Elijah Wood holding the ring, you know, and it just said power can be held in the smallest of things.
Love it.
Just looked at that so much. That's burned into my brain.
Love it. I love Bilbo talking about how he's leaving, and just like that line, like butter scraped over too much bread. I always thought that was a super visceral line.
Very relatable, I think. And
Yeah.
like and yeah, it has always stuck out in my head. Always like sort of like every time he said it, and also just the first time I heard him say that, I was like, damn, that's like such a great, like very like a great visual to describe like a feeling.
Yeah, and I wish I could tell you which lines are exactly from the book and what's from the movie, but I don't know the books as well. I did reread Fellowship recently, loved it, but I feel like I've always had to be in the right mood, like the right vibe, the right headspace, like just kind of ready to get lost in it. But you do have to like focus, because yeah, it's so many different descriptions and like history being dropped on you. He just kind of drops you in, and I think the movie does a really good job of kind of holding your hand into this world.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like he almost is like, when I was reading it, it's almost like he has like ADD, and he's like, oh wait, let me talk about this, let me talk about this,
Yeah,
and they're all
I
like
could see that.
related, but like then suddenly we go back to what's happening in the moment. I'm like, oh, what
Yeah.
was going on like 15 pages ago?
Yeah. Yeah, and all the songs, there's so many songs, but I kind of love that. I love how much music is a theme in the books. It's a little bit in the movies, but
Yeah. I read The Hobbit first before I read them all, and that one, like, it's wild because I guess he wrote that one more as like a kid's story,
Yeah.
and that's why it's easier to read, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember immediately loving that in The Hobbit. Like the dwarves like all gathered round in like Bilbo's like living room, like fucking like singing.
Yeah.
There's something very like moving about that. It's also so interesting about how like in The Hobbit you really like get to know the dwarves, and like you're like, okay, like, they're kind of, they got their whole thing going on, but they're cool. Like, I recognize them as like these different individuals. And then in this movie it's just like, they're just greedy fucks, like.
Yeah, that I think there's a lot of really good changes in the movies, but one of the changes that I'm like always on the fence on is I feel like Gimli, Merry, and Pippin are all made into much more just kind of like joke characters, and in the books they all have a lot of dignity. But it also works for like the comedic humor, like the levity, like.
Yeah.
So it's I'm like I have mixed feelings about it, but sometimes I
Yeah.
wish like they would give like Gimli has some like really good lines in the book where he's just like talking about like the downfall of dwarves and like talking about Moria and what happened there, and it's just like so like poetic, and we don't really see any of that with him.
Yeah, is there more of that in this? Like, I feel like I have a memory of more of that maybe in the like second and third.
I mean,
movies.
he definitely grows as a character, but he never has like quite the same kind of like old dwarf wise kind of countenance to him. Like he's definitely has issues with elves and stuff, I remember too. So there's growth in that way in the movies and the books. But
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely one of the things that I remember most from the movies is like sort of like him and Legolas becoming like good friends. And there was the really cool video game, the Two Towers video game, where you rotate through being Gimli, Legolas, and Aragorn on their search for Merry and Pippin, and that game was so much fucking fun. I do feel like Merry and Pippin like paying more attention and being a little bit like, looking for these things. I found them to have like more depth than I remember, even in this movie.
Yeah.
But
I love
definitely
their arcs. They have great
I
arcs.
definitely feel that with the Gimli though. Like in this movie, I'm like, you're just comedic relief.
Well, like Pippin's just like a straight up fool in the movies until like he grows, but in the books, like no, he's just like a good companion, like just another one of the boys. Like
maybe this is too boring. Like
that's what I'm thinking. They tried to mix it up, but I also
like you want to make them distinct,
Yeah, I mean, I think they're still distinct, but like they're just they're adding a much more modern humor to it, right?
Yeah.
To try to punch it up a bit.
I mean, they definitely like have some of the funniest, most iconic lines.
I mean, it's
I don't
still
think
great.
he knows about Second Breakfast.
I don't hate it. I'm on the fence about him.
Yeah, for sure. I also think it's cool to make choices and to make things different than like what you're adapting.
I mean, this adaptation's insane that they were able to pull this off. The fact that they filmed them all back to back like this too, like
it's like 480 days of like filming something like that.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, nobody does shit like that.
Yeah, I can't imagine coordinating it. Like,
No, it would be so much work. Also to have people sign up to do it for like that long, yeah, that's like a huge commitment. And being out like there in New Zealand, like, and filming in all these like remote locations.
yeah, I heard Peter Jackson saying that they had, or I think maybe it was one of the Hobbit actors, talking about how they had them come out first and do their scenes together because they wanted like their friendship to feel really like natural. And I think a lot of things like that do show up through it.
Yeah. Apparently in the scene where they're all mourning Gandalf,
Yeah.
like none of them had met Ian McKellen yet
Oh,
or acted with him or seen him dressed as Gandalf the Grey.
damn, that's a shame.
Yeah. No, but it's very interesting. Well, it's called acting, my friend.
I know.
But I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, and then again, yeah, all of the like sort of like logistics of how you film these things but yeah, it seems really well. I mean, there's I don't know if you've ever heard, but they got like the 9 members of the Fellowship all got matching tattoos of the number 9 in Elvish.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And then Peter Jackson got one of the number 10 in Elvish.
Right, and they all got like different props from the set and stuff. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's so many stories about. I mean, it seems like it was a real, and I mean, like seeing seeing some of the interviews and like hearing like the stories that like Billy Boyd like and like has like told in the past, or even why am I blanking on his name? He was in fucking he was in Lost. Dominic Monaghan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mary.
I mean, yeah, Mary, exactly. Yeah. They all have a lot of really interesting stories.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of interviews. They're super cool, funny people from everything I've seen too.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the party.
Big party.
I love them just chilling.
111.
Oh, so this is kind of funny. I'm pretty sure because Tolkien was a big like tobacco pipe smoker, so I'm pretty sure in the books all the smoking is supposed to be like pipe, like tobacco, but the movies definitely seem to kind of be like hinting like no, it's that wild hobbit weed.
I watched a YouTube video about this recently, and it in his idea was that it was tobacco, but he doesn't call it tobacco, right? He calls it like pipe weed, and he gives it its own name. And I mean, I think is the line though that Saruman says like about like it clouding your mind.
It's slowing your mind.
Yeah, it's slowing your mind. Is that not in the book?
No, he doesn't even. We don't even see Saruman and Gandalf meeting in the book.
That's interesting.
He just like disappears.
Yeah, there was a part of like it, like so I'm watching this video and it talks about how Saruman secretly had also started smoking pipe weed, and he part of the reason he goes and takes over the Shire is to like
that's so
is because
funny.
That's where they produce a lot, like all the like
I haven't
good
read
pipe
Return of
weed.
the Ring in a long time. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think it's also interesting because it has this sort of like mysterious sort of like origin, and it is like something that is mostly consumed by hobbits. And then I guess I can't remember. I think and they talked about like the first guy to like farm pipe weed or whatever, and like that he claims that he found it somewhere. I love it. There's
That's
like
amazing.
just like with everything with Tolkien, there's
so
just like so much lore about it.
I love it.
But yeah, no, I do like that in the movies they are a little bit more playful about it. Like it is a little fun. I also
I don't mind. I mean, how many stoners have watched Lord of the Rings over the years?
Well, it's also because in the 1960s it was super popular with like the hippies and like the counterculture movement, and they like read pipe weed and they're like hell yeah, and so they sort of took it like that way.
Yeah.
And so it's not it's not like the movies created that thought. It was already there, and they wanted to do like a nudge nudge wink wink to the fucking boomers who are watching this with their fucking like kids,
Hell yeah.
And it's fun. I love the fucking I will never forget sitting in the theater and seeing like the smoke ring, and then he blows the fucking boat.
Yeah.
And God, this time I was like, God, Gandalf, you're such a fucking show off.
It looks so good for 2001, man. Like some of these effects, like I don't even see where the seams are on that in that scene.
No, it looks cool. I think with something like Smoke too, like that again, I think you like pick your spots.
Yeah. It's just very like tastefully done. I mean, sometimes they just have a big, 3D troll running in, and what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, the Watcher in the Water is great because it's late at night, it's dark, it's like it's in water and it gives it that sort of like sheen that is kind of natural in these like digital effects.
Yeah, very cool looking, very Lovecraftian design on that guy. I love that.
Mary. We're sort of establishing Merry and Pippin as these sort of like troublemakers. They steal the firework and they light it off, and it's the
Yeah.
sick dragon firework.
And also Sam too scared to ask Rosie for a dance. Frodo throwing him to him.
Yeah.
Throwing him to her. I love that moment. Just like friendship moment,
Rosie
but also
is,
setting up that link through the movies.
Yeah, Rosie's a great thread. I love Rosie and how she's like immediately set up with like Sam.
Yeah.
And because it's nice that he eventually like has like a normal life with her, right?
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, whereas his friend Frodo is like deeply traumatized and can never live a normal life again.
Right. I always wonder if like this is some experience Tolkien had, like, coming
Like,
back
yeah.
from war with, with a
absolutely.
companion.
I think it's probably happened with several people. I think
know,
he probably
just,
saw
like, yeah.
so many of his friends like who were traumatized and couldn't live normal lives anymore.
Yeah, I think reflecting on that when I'm watching a lot of this is a big part of what makes me so emotional. And then like the nostalgia underneath that and the music just like knocks me out, sucker punches me.
Word, for sure. Yeah, I mean, dude, war sucks, man. War is tragic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love the dragon.
Dragon's great. The huge cake is also great.
Yeah.
Has 111 candles on it.
Yes, 11D1. I love when he says that later. It's so funny.
It is, yeah. Bilbo wants to just like peace out. He just wants to disappear. He literally disappears. And I love this is like the sort of moment where Gandalf realizes, right? That the ring is that he has like this ring in his possession, and this ring is not just like a normal ring.
Yeah, I think he knew he had a magic ring, but I think seeing him go invisible probably like connects some dots for him.
Yeah, for sure. What I think is really interesting, I read is, and I didn't remember this from the books, but Gandalf leaves for like 17 years.
Yeah.
After Bilbo leaves, and like to go like do research.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Yeah. I think the hobbits are in their like 40s, but they age slower than us.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Like,
I think they usually live to like 150 or something like that.
Yeah. So he just disappears. Like Frodo like inherits, Bag End, and he's like running it basically. Like, yeah, there's a lot of that. And then when Gandalf comes back, and in the movies, it's like, you got to go right now.
No, he takes like months and sells off his property.
Yeah.
And like has this whole guise of like that he's moving elsewhere.
Yeah, it's
out of the
Shire.
Shire.
He has like 3 months. He's like, I'll meet you in Bree in like 3 months or something like that, or further out than that even.
Yeah.
I think he just says like, set out in 3 months and meet me at the end of the Prancing Pony.
Yeah, it is wild how they decided to change the scale of time, but it makes sense
good
for
choices,
like an action adventure movie.
Like unless this was a TV series. Like they're setting up so much so quickly, and I think the pace is really good.
Yeah,
I like the extended editions because you get a bit more here and there. But
yeah, this is the kind of movie where like you want to like live in this world, like you just kind of like want to like be seeped in it. Like you want it to be like this nice warm mug of water, and like you just want to like sit like a nice little tea bag in there for like however long you can,
So cozy.
Yeah, for sure. It's. And like that, I think the epicness too, like again, scale being such a big part of it as well, and feeling so small, but like you're also observing some of the most important happenings of this like age, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It feels like kind of like experiencing the Bible a little bit.
Yeah, like well, he has so many mythological like inspirations in here.
Big Catholic.
Yeah, big Catholic. No, there's a lot of Christianity in this, and I like it, even though I'm not religious. I like the themes of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some things that are like a little bit like and like maybe like that you're like but like for the most part it is like just like good stuff where it is like so there is some sort of like xenophobia like sort of like in some of the like some in certain parts of like the stories.
Yeah.
But like I think for the most part like the Christian messages are like good ones, right? I doesn't really feel like it's like I think it's just because it's like, being kind to one another, being like, like that brotherhood, that fellowship.
Having like hope to an extent of like faith, I think is a big part of it too. Like you have to have faith in this if we're going to pull this off. And I like that theme in general. I think faith is a powerful thing, even if I'm not like religious.
No, I think those themes are really like so well explored through like Boromir and specifically Boromir and Aragorn,
Yeah.
like really put like a nice bow on it at the end of the movie
Yeah.
when they're talking.
Absolutely. Gandalf confronts Bilbo.
Yeah, he does. He says, "I see you, dude."
Yeah, I love this. I love Gandalf flexing a little bit. It's the first time you see like a little bit of his power, where he's like, "I'm not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you."
Yeah. Do not mistake me for some conjurer of whatever he says.
Cheap tricks or something.
Cheap tricks. Yeah.
Really
Classic.
good stuff. Really good lines. Yeah, and I love this sweet little moment between them. Like, I just think they do such a good job of establishing Bilbo, who you've seen like 2 scenes of. He's such a, I don't know, lovable old man. But then like that twist of the ring's power over him, and I think seeing such an innocent person twisted by it, already sets up the power of the ring so well.
Yeah, for sure. It does just like I think that's another thing that is like I think really well done in some of the depiction in the movie is this sort of like addiction, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think it is like about like an addiction to power, right? But I think it works really well for as pointing to like even dependence, like substance dependence, right? Like you see the way that Bilbo acts, and you're like it's not hard to like make the jump to thinking about like someone who's struggling with alcoholism,
Yeah.
or like someone struggling with some sort of a form of drug addiction, like
Right.
and the way that like man, I just love like, and he's like, oh, you haven't aged a day, and then when you see him later on,
Yeah.
and that scene later on with Frodo,
Very
I think
good,
is
like, just-
super impactful.
Yeah, good visual storytelling with that.
Yeah, and then also I think like also the whole thing about like feeling like butter scraped over too much bread,
Yeah.
like that it feels like I feel like that's something you could hear someone say like at an AA meeting or something. Like I think
Right.
that's one of like the really cool things about Bilbo's character.
Yeah, and it also makes me think of the way it's impacted Golem, who had it for 600 years.
Yeah,
And now he doesn't even have it anymore.
I think it was 500, but
Sure. uh,
hey, last episode I said something was 5, and you're like, I think it was 7. So I'm just
Yeah,
turnabout is fair play.
yeah, tit for tat. I love when he's leaving, and I love that first of all, he's like, okay, you convinced me, you can have
Yeah.
the ring. I'm gonna take off. And he's just like, Bilbo, the ring is still in your pocket.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to avoid getting rid of it, and he's almost playing like, oh, I forgot, yeah, and the way that when he gets rid of it finally, he just like that close up of his hand like slowly turning and it
Yes.
just sliding off. They put a magnet under the floor
Yes.
so that it would just hit like thud,
Perfect.
and it wouldn't like bounce at all
Yeah.
to like point
And
to
the
the
sound
weight
effect
of the ring.
Yeah, the weight of the ring. No, the way the ring is handled as like a character through these movies is so cool.
Yeah,
Because
very
it
cool.
is like the main villain. Like it is like he even says like Sauron and the ring are one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frodo comes back home. I like that he picks up the ring casually, and it's like there's such an innocence to it.
He's out of focus behind
Yeah.
Gandalf in the background, with
Yeah.
Gandalf just like kind
Staring
of like
into the fire.
concerned, like obviously
my
like
precious, my precious.
obviously like so troubled by this, and because I think he hears him call it my precious.
Yes.
And he's like it's
Someone
been
has
called.
Yes, it's been called by that name before.
Yeah, very cool. Also, that just that key that comes up. You hear Isildur say it. But yeah, what a specific like term too. I
Yeah.
don't think, and I think these movies have done so much for further making this a part of like mainstream culture. It's hard for me to think about. It's hard to parse, right? For me, how much people were saying my precious beforehand, but I think the iconic delivery by like Andy Serkis has really like I think added to its popularity.
Yeah, surprisingly, I guess not that surprisingly, Golem and My Precious might be like the most iconic thing from these movies. When I like talk to people who haven't even seen them before, they're like, that's like the My Precious movie, right?
Yeah.
Which
I feel like it is.
insane.
But there's also so many other things. It's just
Yeah.
like, and it is maybe just also hanging out with nerds and people who really like these movies all the time and just hearing them quoted over and over again. But it's just feels so pervasive. And I do feel like the movies had a heavy influence on doing that. Like it feels like without them, like, I mean, Lord of the Rings would still be a beloved like series, but wouldn't be as like sort of like like so much pop culture canon.
There would
as
just
it
be
is
like
now.
a big, like, fan group that would be like, dude, you should read it, and people like, yeah, maybe one of these days.
Yeah, so it's cool how I do appreciate how it made a story that I found like to have a little bit of a barrier to entry. It made it so much more accessible. I think, and I really appreciate the movies for that. Like it took something that was kind of recondite and made it so much more like so much easier to process.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
even and infused it with enough energy that it makes me want to go like, okay, you know what? Maybe I will go back and actually like try like and make an effort. Maybe I just need to find myself in the right place to like actually read the books.
I was doing the audiobooks. It's a like really nice thing to like meditate on, just like getting lost in this world.
Yeah, I listen to too many podcasts. I don't have time for audiobooks. It's either like read the actual book or like,
That's fair. No, and I like reading them more too when I have time. I love, Gandalf doesn't take the ring in his hand, just like bundles it up in the envelope super quick, puts the wax seal on it. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Yeah, he never touches it.
Yeah.
He never touches it. Yeah, and I love him explaining like, later on.
Yes.
That
I
like,
wrote it down. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we get a cut of Gollum.
Well, if I can just finish the thought very quickly. He basically says later on, look, I would try to use it for good. That's what I would tell myself, but I know that it would corrupt me like as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's very interesting. There's something about like Frodo, but also I think something about hobbits where like the way that they exist in this world.
They're innocent. They're more. They don't have the same desires as men.
Yeah, I mean they're so unique and so separate from like from elves and men and dwarves. And I think it's like explored a little bit more in like the lore, but like it's almost like they're actually of the, I don't know, like it's hard to explain, but there's something so much more grounded about them. Like they feel more like humans than actual humans do. Well, or I guess it's like a difference of class, because the humans feel very like medieval, like humans like lineages of kings. I don't know. There is something so much more innocent about their way of life. But I love that there's this thing where it's like it has to be you because like it doesn't affect you like it affects us. But it still does.
Right.
And watching the way that like it slowly destroys him,
Yeah, and I think to the point on Gandalf, a lot of that is the innocence, but I think a lot of it is just the power. So like Frodo is not a very like hobbits are weak, right? I mean they're stealthy, but like
they're not very strong. They're small.
But so like Gandalf, even as sweet and innocent as he is, like he's an angel, but because he's so powerful, that power will corrupt him.
Yeah, it is there is so much magic, he's like bursting at the seams with all this magical power. Yeah, I know for sure. And he does sort of point to that, like the amount of power that I like wield and if it were to be corrupted. But yeah, so he tells a classic line, keep it secret, keep it safe. And then he disappears for 17 years.
Yep.
We get a shot of like Mordor.
Yep.
And you hear Gollum screaming, Baggins, Shire, and you see the lava fucking erupt. So fucking scary.
And the Nine riding out.
Yeah.
The shot, dude. The way the Nazgul are handled in this movie is pitch perfect, I think. Like, they're always shot so menacingly. It's just great.
They're so terrifying.
The slow burn buildup of what they are.
I have some qualms about them just generally, but they're also maybe just like qualms with like the way that some of these things that just happen in these stories a lot.
Sure.
But it is they look fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And like the sounds, the shrieking,
and their
lore so good. Yeah, no, the lore is awesome.
Thousands of years old kings with rings that bind them to a dark lord.
Yeah,
like,
it's great shit.
It's sick.
It's also awesome when he sees them in like the shadow world or whatever.
Yeah, I love
and they're just like these creepy king
blew
dudes.
my mind as a kid.
Yeah,
I mean the whole movie did, but like
yeah, I had a friend who was really like scared of like the orcs and shit. And I remember one of the things about like growing up with these movies, I remember we went to go see one of the movies. I think we were going to see Return of the King, or maybe it was even Two Towers. And I was with my friend and his older brother. and he's like, "Oh, we should go see a movie. Like, should we go see the new like Lord of the Rings movie?" And then my friend didn't really say anything, and his older brother goes, he's scared of the orcs, and like he was like so ashamed to like say it.
I love
It
that.
was
The
really
orcs are
funny.
terrifying.
They're really, yeah, they're gross.
They look so great.
They're really gross.
Love it. Um,
And you see Gandalf
Yeah.
seeing the explosion, the eruption of Mount Doom.
yeah, and he's riding up on Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
And I think like filming them all at once allows you to do stuff like this, where you just get like this snippet of this like beautiful, insane city, and you're like, "What is this place?"
Yeah,
and then
when
it doesn't
he's-
show
yeah.
up until the third movie.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. He's just like in this amazing city, like
Yeah.
like searching through this archive, and you're like, where the fuck is he, dude?
yeah, super
And yeah,
cool.
he's
Great world building.
yeah, I love him like looking through the papers, and he starts reading.
Yeah,
The year, talking about the year 3434 with the Isildur and that line, "A secret now that only fire can tell."
what I wrote down too.
Very
yeah.
cool, very good. Lots of really good lines. I mean, obviously
Amazing.
the dude was a writer. He was
Yeah.
writing stuff. Oh, actually, I wanted to talk about that very quickly. This script was written by Peter Jackson. The screenplay written by Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, who is his wife, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
And Philippa Boynes.
Right.
So all three from New Zealand.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Great adaptation. And like I said, I don't know. Like, I think there's some really good stuff in here that's not in the books, but I couldn't like necessarily be certain on which lines. But I think they're cooking like in their own right.
Yeah, a lot of Arwen is not in the book.
Yeah.
I think, and that's a cool sort of choice to like make her
Yeah.
more of a like a character in the movie.
And it adds a nice thread to Aragorn, and like the way the hobbits are fighting for the Shire. Like, he's fighting for so much more than that, but he's also fighting for this woman he loves.
Yeah, I like her in the movies. I think she's cool. And this one she's very cool. She's a little bit of like a Deus Ex Machina, but it's fucking sick as fuck. You
Yes, it's great.
know? Deus Ex friggin' elf.
Love it. Sam and Frodo are
The boys are leaving the pub.
Oh yeah, we also get a shot of the Nazgul like interrogating a hobbit, and he's
No. He stops and he's like, "Hey, do you know which way to the Shire?" He's like asking for directions. I thought that was very funny.
yeah, he's like, and I love the way he just panics. In Hobbiton, that
Yeah.
way, runs back inside.
He's like, "There's no Baggins here, bro. They're all in Hobbiton."
Yeah,
Yeah, but the boys are leaving the pub.
I think in the extended edition we get a great Pippin and Merry like singing a song on the like bar counters during this, and a little more rosy. I won't do that for every scene, but since you were talking about like these nice moments we get with them.
Yeah, no, I do like them. I think they're funny. They're like two of my favorite characters in these movies.
It's a great song too.
Every time I see them, I'm like stoked. I'm excited. I'm like, these guys have something, and that's like from always, like from the first time I watched these movies as like a young, like being like 10 years old. I was like, those dudes are sick. I love those guys. Those are like people like I'm friends with. I know people like that.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, they're leaving the pub. Sam drops Frodo off at home. Frodo gets there. You can tell, looks like somebody broke in or some shit. There's Gandalf.
A little bit of a red herring, misdirect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good tension.
Gandalf's scary hand coming
Yeah.
out of the dark.
Looks great. Like the lighting and stuff for so much of what they're doing just absolutely kills it.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. I like a lot of the dark stuff in this movie. A lot of the darkness, the shots at night, all of that stuff looks really good.
There's a lot of slow motion, and most of the time I think it works great for me. Sometimes I'm like, meh.
But yeah, there's a lot of low frame rate slow motion that I do not fucking like, and I'm just like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't need this.
A lot of the times I thought it worked for like the emotion they're going for. Other times it felt just like too much or like not necessary.
I just don't like it. I don't like it. It feels like it reminds me I'm watching a movie, like
Right.
in a way that I don't enjoy.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like that. I don't know. I just feel like there's better ways to like try to convey those emotional messages. Honestly, I think one of the things too is that like the jerking around, like do you know how much beauty and like introspection there is in like a still shot of someone's face? Like, I don't think you need to, especially a movie that like does so well blending like CGI and like practical effects. Like, it just is like it's just disappointing to see it.
I feel it. Yeah, it doesn't bum me out as much, but it's definitely like a nitpick I have here and there. Yeah, I love Gandalf throwing the ring in the fire. It's quite cool. I like how he's not certain it's the One Ring, and he's still like, no, it's fine. It's not gonna be hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was funny. I was like, if I were Frodo, I'd be like, fuck you, dude. You pick it up, you old piece of shit.
Yeah, the great writing on the ring. I will not utter those words or that language here.
Yeah.
One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them. So classic.
Also, like the sort of like the moment where you're just looking at Gandalf's face, and Frodo's like, "No, I don't see anything," and then he's like, "Wait."
Yeah, because you see the relief on him. Like he's like, "Oh, thank God."
Ian McKellen, fucking
amazing,
so fucking good as Gandalf.
Yeah, so
an
good.
amazing actor, Sir
Yeah.
Ian McKellen. Like one of the best,
He's
and
killing it.
like the one of the few people to have the gravitas to be able to pull this fucking like, because so much of the movie I think hinges on like Gandalf as the initial sort of like mentor, like guiding force.
Yeah.
And I love the way that he can sort of like just go from levity to like being so serious like between scenes, and the way that he handles it is just so, and he's so like kind. Like there's such like a warmth to him.
Yeah.
But like it's almost like the warmth like cuts both ways, where there's this fire in him, right? Ready to erupt at any moment.
Secret fire.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly.
He is much more abrasive in the books, like kind of a dick a lot of the time.
Like a crotchety old man.
Yeah, and I kind of like that
I do
too.
like that, yeah. I do think they capture some of it.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, the way he like, he just like berates Pippin.
Keeps setting him off, yeah. Poor Pippin. Yeah, his life force is bound to the ring, and the ring survived.
Yeah, Gandalf is basically breaking down all the ring lore for Frodo. He's letting him know this is how this shit works. Sauron's not gone. He's still here. Like he and with the power, like he can, with the ring, like his power will just grow even more.
Yeah. And Frodo's just like, well, okay, well, let's hide it. Nobody has to know.
Yeah.
And then like we get a shot of Golem getting tortured. Do you think they're stretching him?
Yeah, they're probably doing something like that. I just want to shout out, I love the way that Ian McKellen throughout the entire movie says Mordor.
Yeah.
Like that's so dope. I love, and then like later on fucking Christopher Lee says Hazadum.
Yeah, all the pronunciations and crazy names is great.
Yeah, I mean, I a big language nerd, and so that's one of the things that I think really brought me back on like Tolkien, was that because he was a linguist, and like all of like the shit with language that he does is very interesting.
I mean, writing a whole language, and I think like multiple dialects.
Yeah. I mean, I've said in the past, I think he wrote these books because he wanted to do something with his made up language.
Yeah, that is a theory. Yeah. Yeah, and then here's the line: "Don't tempt me. I would use this ring from a desire to do good, but through me it would wield a power too great and terrible to imagine." Yeah.
Because Frodo is like, Gandalf, you have to take the ring, bro. Like,
do not tempt me.
Yeah, and then he like it is great like scene, but it is also just funny again to step into the moment and like think like a normal person. Like your friend is here and he's like, bro, we gotta get rid of this, and you're like, okay, get rid.
Powerful wizard.
Yeah, you're
take the magical thing.
You're the smart one. You go get rid of it. And he's like, dude, why would you do that?
Right.
Why would you do that, dude? Don't do that.
So I take it Gandalf was a little tempted there, right? Like that reaction is so interesting to me, because even Gandalf like eventually would succumb to the ring, is what that's saying there. The same way Saruman is eventually corrupted by the Palantir.
Yeah, it's I love how it's like a little test throughout the like movie where like you get the moment with Galadriel, you get the moment with Aragorn, and obviously most famously, Boromir.
Yeah.
Who we'll talk about it when it comes up, but I just want to shout out now, like when I watched the movie as a kid, I hated him. When I watch the movie now, I love him. Like
I love him so much. Yeah. Boromir's such a good character.
He is like, and I love the way
Sean Bean, dude.
Him and Merry and Pippin, like how they're all like they're friends, and the way like he like carries them across the chasm. Like, it was like those little things that I didn't notice so much when I was a kid. And watching it now, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. That's fucking sick. I think the thing is, I watched these movies since, the first time I watched them. But so often it's just like putting them on and like
Yeah.
hanging out with my friends, and it's like I'm not gonna be 100% quiet for like 4 hours, you know. So like, because often watching like extended versions, so it is a lot of just like chatting and like watching and just like being stoked. But this time it was like headphones on, fucking doing it for the pod, right? So think I and it's cool to see those character moments like
Oh
in like
yeah.
everyone and like
It's amazing what
yeah.
they set up with like all these characters in 3 hours.
It's amazing what they show you about a character in a scene.
Yeah.
Like again,
Yeah.
they like setting up this like sort of like litmus test
Yeah.
of like, are you like corruptible? Like, and we'll talk about the different reactions and the way that they occur, but it's like a very fun use of it, because like, okay, cool. Like you've created this like super evil like MacGuffin type situation thing, this item that's so like important, right? Like the fucking Maltese Falcon, right? But not only that, it's like has this insane amount of power to it. Like, okay, cool, and they have to destroy it. But like, what if we keep like showing how it can corrupt people and like, and I love, and just like also getting such amazing actors like to
Yeah.
do the different scenes, you know?
Yeah, that struggle, I agree. It's like definitely one of the most compelling parts of the story, just that pull it constantly has, and that like it's just always weighing on everything. And like the fact that throughout the movies, like you actually start to see like marks on Frodo's neck from it pulling on his neck. So it's like physically weighing him down, like just
Yeah.
the burden of this cursed.
One of my favorite things is how he changes
Yeah.
throughout the movies, like, and how you really, because I think I was struck by how like defeated he already is in this movie, because he like the lows he reaches are so fucking low.
Yeah.
It is, I think, one of the hard parts of this movie too, because it is just like this very sort of like this very traumatized, like, well, going through the trauma, like depressed, addicted, like main character, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why like they're the parts of like the other movies that I will enjoy a lot more, like, because they're great, like Frodo's scenes are amazing, but like I end up enjoying like all of the side quests, like with like Gimli and like Legolas. That's like one of my favorite parts of like the Two Towers, is like
Hell yeah.
them like in their burgeoning friendship. But yeah, Sam is outside the door, Gandalf outside the window, and Gandalf notices him. And I love Sam. I love the way he talks. Sean Astin fucking kills it. I love the accent choice
Well,
too.
the line when he pulls him in, have you been eavesdropping?
I ain't been no dropping no eaves, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
I wasn't dropping no eaves. I also like how like Gandalf is like, well, you didn't overhear anything, and you're like, I didn't hear nothing, just something about like a really powerful ring and like some dark lord, and like literally like, I
No,
love how he's like,
everything.
I didn't hear anything, but I heard everything.
Yeah.
Very funny.
There's also a little nice moment I want to call out right before this, where Frodo's just like, I can cut across country easily enough. Like, even though he's just told him all this horror,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
a good characterization of Frodo and why he's the hero of this story. Him just being like, yeah, okay, whatever you say, man. Like, I guess I got to do this.
Yeah, it makes it like even sadder,
Yeah.
like, because he is like, like the way he takes it on here, and he's like, okay, I get it. Like, you can't take it. Like, the understand, like,
Yeah.
what a good friend, like,
Yeah.
and like, what like a good guy to be like, I see where you're coming from. It does have to be me, and I can do this.
And I love the way it's reflected at the council later.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna
So
say. Is that,
powerful.
and then that he does it again. And I love how between those 2 points, how much he starts to fucking hate it, like already. It's,
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that. Like how
well, when they get to Rivendell, they're all just like, all right, yeah, let's like dusting off their hands. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it is pretty funny. Gandalf leads Sam and Frodo through a field, then a forest, and tells him never to put it on. And again, like we shouted out in the books, this is actually like he leaves, and it's a much longer process.
Yeah, I like the line, it wants to be found.
Yeah. So in the book, Sam is listening outside the window, or not?
I don't think so.
Why does Sam come with him? Go with him in the
because
book?
he's like his closest confidant, basically, and like he works for the Hobbit estate, so he's
Right.
like kind of like a servant to an extent.
No, I know. Yeah, I do remember that, because he's his dad's the gaffer.
That's why he always calls him Mr. Frodo.
Yeah.
So he's just like the best person
Well,
he trusts.
'cause
He
the-
also takes Mary, I believe, or is it Pippin? Yeah, Pippin also goes with them.
Because he's his cousin.
Yeah. So he's just like, these are my bros. I need some help doing this.
I kind
You
of like
guys.
that more than like this whole sort of like, oh,
It works for the movie. Like it's this dramatic like, all right, because the reason he's listening in the first place is because he's worried about Mr.
yeah, yeah,
Frodo. You know.
absolutely. But I kind of just like him being able to ask for help. Like
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like I think that goes in hand with the message of the like
True.
of the story so much
Right.
more.
Well,
For
at
him.
this point, he has no idea what's in store for him because they have no idea the ring rates are coming, right?
Yeah,
like,
no,
here
I
it's
know.
so
No, yeah,
rushed.
yeah.
He's just like, yeah, we just got to get to this town. Like, it's a long journey. We have to cross the Shire. Like, it'll be an adventure, though. It'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. That's
And then,
what,
like, the
again,
Nazgul is slowly creeping up on them and all the, like, crazy stuff that happens in the woods with, like, ghosts and, like, trees trying to eat them and stuff. There's all sorts of wild stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they do face like so much crazier shit.
Yeah,
in, like,
Tom
the book.
Bombadil. Yeah.
Tom Bombadil, who some people think is Iluvatar, like that's like a theory, but that's probably not true.
Yeah, he's like the biggest question mark in the lore from what I've seen because he doesn't really fit any of the like hierarchies or of the gods and stuff that Tolkien
Yeah.
set up.
Yeah, but he's like insanely powerful.
Yeah, he's the only one. He takes the ring and flips it up and catches it and like he's like,
Yeah,
neat, and he like gives it back to Frodo.
Yeah,
He's the
dude.
only person who is never.
fully uncorruptible.
Yeah, and at the council meeting, they're like, Tom, why don't we just get Tom to do it? And he's like, no, he's too disconnected from the like these worldly affairs. He's lived so long, he would just like forget about it
Yeah,
and leave it
yeah, yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. I watched like a lore video about him, and so like they like
It's
shout
great.
out all the specific times that he's like mentioned. Yeah, and it's so interesting. He's just like, yeah, so disconnected from the world.
I understand why they cut him out, but I
He's
also
really
understand
cool,
the
yeah.
disappointment just because he's so interesting. But like they're shoving so much in here already. Like
That's probably the number one thing that I think people have lamented over the years that was missing from this particular from Fellowship is Tom Bombadil.
yeah, I mean, what they're doing a really good job of is every scene is kind of moving the narrative forward.
Yeah.
And hanging out with Tom Bombadil, while amazing and lore building and really trippy and weird, doesn't really like push things forward.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I understand. I see that. He's not even in the extended version, right?
No, damn shame.
Yeah. What is in the extended version? There's I guess
a lot of scenes. Yeah, I mean, the whole intro is different. It's like Bilbo giving like it's not just Frodo sitting under a tree. It's Bilbo like talking about the Shire and Hobbiton and like flashing between. He's like writing his book.
Word. Wild.
Yeah, I like the part like so many beautiful montages throughout these movies of just like wandering through the countryside.
Again, like that there's that whole like come visit New Zealand. Yeah, you have the Sam and Frodo walking. And we get to the point where Sam says the thing about if I take one more step, this is the furthest I've ever been, you know?
Nice moment.
I know, it's very cute. Really sort of like he's so timid.
Yeah.
But he's so fucking brave, dude.
Yeah. Human perseverance, dude. I think that's like
Dude, he's
the number one thing.
Dude, Hobbit perseverance, dude. He's such an amazing character. I just love watching him like develop and like the shit that he fucking does. He's a real one, dude. He is the homiest of homies.
Yeah. Yeah, I've said for a while he's probably my favorite character. I don't know if I would say that definitively, but when I say that, a lot of times people are like, "Really? Say it?"
I think he is the best role model of all of the characters.
Yeah. I mean,
he's the most
hero
realistic
in so many ways.
Yeah, and he's truly, and he's like the most like sort of like realistic sort of person in a way as well. Like,
actually, I heard Patrick Rothfuss, the writer of Kingkiller Chronicles, for those of you out there, say that he's like, nah, Sam's the main character. Read those books again. Sam's the main character.
That's awesome.
I
love that.
I don't know about that, but that's
I love that.
big take.
Patrick Rothfuss is great.
He's
Cool
a wild
guy.
Wild
Yeah.
guy.
Wild guy, very funny.
Yeah.
I like that take. Good take.
The ring wraith. I love. So it's like a montage of stuff, and then it finishes on kind of a dark shot, and you see the ring wraith coming into frame, just like very like.
I did want to mention
eerie.
there's the cool transition where like Frodo is like sort of like reassuring Sam, which is nice to see because it's not gonna happen very much later on. It's gonna be a lot of like Sam reassuring Frodo, but he says something, you know what Bilbo always said about going out your door, and then it transitions to Bilbo like doing it.
Yeah, I love
cool.
that little monologue. Yeah.
Very fun little thing. But yeah, the ring wraith is like watching the Shire.
Yeah, I think
from afar.
and they extended to see like elves at some point during this too. wandering through, which is in the book. They run into some elves, and that's actually who saves them later. I don't. It might be different elves. A lot of weird little additions like that.
Gandalf
Gandalf
is pulling up to Isengard.
Yeah.
He's gonna meet Saruman. And I did want to point out earlier when he says, "I must see the head of my order," when he's talking to Frodo, like Ian McKellen does this sort of like silly little smile, and I was like, I don't think it's foreshadowing, but I'm reading it as
Interesting. I didn't
foreshadowing.
notice.
Yeah,
Keep an eye out for
and
that.
also like the way that Saruman addresses him, like the way they're kind of like the way they're set up, it feels adversarial, and then like they like, which is a very sort of classic thing to do, where they're very serious. They're like, my old friend, and like then you like relax, like where the scene starts with this sort of like tension of like what's the relationship like, and they're like, oh, okay, they're friends.
Yeah, it's so interesting to see because this isn't in the books at all. So it's just like, what was the relationship like? I would like to know more of that.
Because they never leave Frodo as like the as the like focus.
Because when you get to the inn, they're like, "Where's Gandalf?" Like you as the reader is like, "Yeah, where is Gandalf?"
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah,
but it is also cool to explore this as well.
I mean, so many good scenes here.
Yeah.
With him on the top of the tower and all that.
Yeah, and I mean, Saruman tells Gandalf, you didn't notice the ring for 60 years because you've been smoking way too much weed, bro.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, he tells him that Sauron's cooking up an army.
And Gandalf is like, how do you know, bro?
Yeah, he shows him the Palantir.
The friggin'
which
Palantir.
Which is a big thing in the books. Like, this is supposed to be what corrupted Saruman, along with, gosh, I'm forgetting his name, the steward of Minas Tirith, Boromir's father.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the line, when did Saruman the Wise abandon reason for madness?
Yeah, I love the way they do him, like, slowly realizing, like, oh, shit, dude, like... Because he's like, how do you know? And he's like, the Palantir. He's like, dude, whoa, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, when he touches it again, we get the second flash of the eye with the first when he almost touched the ring in the doorway.
Yeah. And I just love how he goes, dude, what the fuck? Like, it was, it's like if, like, you were hanging out with someone and they pulled out a gun suddenly, he's like, dude, what the hell are you fucking doing?
That's a great comparison, yeah.
But yeah, the slow sort of, like, realization. Because he's, like, shutting all the doors. And, like, he's, like, as he's running at them. But then he, like, turns around and, like, has a full like realization, almost like because he
says we must join him.
Well, I mean, yeah, he also like but immediately he's thinking about Frodo. He's like, oh, I have to save Frodo.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna try and get him, and then that moment of like face to face realization, and then we have the wizard fight. With the classic fucking spinning him around and around and around.
Yeah, I've always thought this is a fun fight, but like it would be cool to see them let loose with some like crazier magic. But it's also like, it's a safer choice to not mess with the lore too much because the magic is left so ambiguous in the books.
Yeah, for sure. I like that's something that I like in theory, but that I don't like as much in practice.
I feel like I could have just used some like crazy blinding lights and explosions or some shit and just like chaos, and then you're just confused what happened.
I don't mind the fight at all. What I'm talking about is the magic system. Like I wish that it was more defined.
Oh,
I love it when there is like more of that stuff, but because sometimes it feels like it's just so open to like whenever I need to use it, I can use it.
I'm mostly with you. I think the way it works thematically in the story is kind of like an act of God in ways a lot of the time, that it works with just like this force that is kind of backing you up, but it's not going to take you over the finish line.
Yeah. I think
this mysterious all-encompassing power around you.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's why I like some of the more like heavier like lore shit from him, like with like the Silmarillion stuff, because I do think it like kind of does not, it doesn't fully define it, like because it is always sort of like this like
abstract
ephemeral sort of thing, but I think it like gives you a better idea of like what is and isn't possible. It is also like also just like Galadriel does magic. All elves do magic. All elves are magical. Like, and this is like a lot of these like questions that like come up, which I think is not the detriment. I think it is cool to leave it up to like, man, what, like, you never really know what to expect from anyone.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of it too. It's just they are Deus Ex Machinas a lot, but it feels so like magnificent when it happens. Like, I'm thinking of like the river of horses or the blinding light on the bridge when he's fighting the Balrog and all all those like miraculous moments, like they feel miraculous because it's so just like, what am I witnessing? And that kind of puts you in the perspective of like, the Hobbits or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm with you. I'm kind of like, if it's done well, I'm into both styles of magic.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, and that's why I love like Brandon Sanderson, because he has like that to the point where you're like, I want to like role play as
he's
one
like
of
the
his
best
characters.
at that. Yeah, he has these insane magic systems that are really fun. I mean, I really like it in A Song of Ice and Fire, just kind of this like hinted at thing, and like you kind of get a sense that there's this give and take with it, but it's also just kind of like encompassing.
I mean, speaking of Patrick Rothfuss, he has maybe one of the coolest ones.
Yeah.
And I mean, King Killer Chronicles is fucking awesome.
Really good.
The moment, like, there's a very specific moment with Kavoth, like that, like, and the like tension. Brandon Sanderson also really good at this, like using your knowledge of the system to like ratchet up the tension.
Yeah.
I feel like you know what else does a good job of that? The fucking Dresden Files.
Absolutely.
That's also
cool
a fun
magic
sort of system.
but a little more vague, like what his powers are in any given situation. Like he kind of uses it like they use it to emphasize how mysterious his character is in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, and sometimes with him, it really like represents like a will to live, like a will to persevere, like but I love the way it physically affects his body, like in those books. That's very interesting as well. And then also Full Metal Alchemist, another really cool
Full
fucking
Metal,
magic system.
one of my favorites. Yeah, I mean the idea of just using like chemistry as magic is such a neat concept.
Oh man, I watched a YouTube video recently about this like manga. Oh man, what is it called? But that one has a very interesting thing where the whole like the initial conceit is that this girl always wanted to like be like a witch, and like, but they don't know like but you have to like be born with magic. You can't just learn it. And then she finds out that actually it's just that these people like do like sigils and stuff, and they know how to do that. Like being a witch isn't anything more than just knowing the secret knowledge.
Cool.
This is very cool. Yeah, and then like witches and wizards all are just supposed to. Well, I think they're just all called witches. They're just supposed to keep the secret that like anybody can actually do magic. It's really cool.
I like the concept of magic being like a dangerous tool that has to be like hidden away because it reminds me of a lot of like, modern themes of bombs and
like nuclear weapons, stuff of that nature.
I think there's a lot of good storytelling that can be done with those themes.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't you lose him, Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to.
Yeah. Don't you lose him. Don't you lose him, dude. And he thinks he loses him for a second. And then they run into Merry and Pippin, who've stolen vegetables from the farmer. So how does Merry come to join them in the book?
I don't exactly remember. I think they need his help crossing the river, which he's the one who gets that boat.
Mary's got the ferry.
Yeah. It's like his family, I think, owns that crossing or something.
That's cool.
Something like that. I'm sure.
But
people
this is
will
very
correct
silly.
us in the comments.
Yeah, I mean this is pretty silly. The whole
I mean, they've
stolen the vegetables and stuff.
I can't help but feel like they're doing some of these characters dirty, but it works.
Yeah, I mean they're thieves. That's not cool, man. I guess they're just like really hungry, you know.
He's got a lot of crops.
Yeah, he's got a lot of crops. You know, we're like, but I do love the way it sets up the like tension of like Frodo looking down the road, like get off the fucking road.
This shot. Do you know how they do this with the woods closing in?
How do they do that?
Yeah, is that like a camera trick?
It might be like a zoom, or it might just be like like a camera.
Because it's like coming towards you with the woods, but the
framing system. That's a change of like. That's the change of the focal length of the lens that does that. So that would be like a zoom. Like it changes.
Looks so cool.
Changes the composition. Like yeah. I mean,
it works so well with the wind coming in and the.
One of the cool things that
feeling.
you do in like production classes or when you talk about cameras is like you get to see like you look at pictures of people's faces taken with different like millimeter lenses. It's so interesting to see how like I mean because like the extremes like a fisheye lens, like the way that distorts the face, and then like probably not so much with like a telephoto lens, but having like the opposite effect, and then being able to apply those tools like when in like filmmaking to give like different vibes for like different scenes. But yeah, zooms are typically used prime lenses in like filmmaking, so the use of like a zoom lens is always sort of like, oh wow, that's like they're thought of as like not being as high quality and like. Well, not necessarily that. It's just like maybe because it's variable, like you can't like lock them in.
Mm.
There's a little bit more room for error. But so whenever they're used, like and done in like a cool way,
I mean,
I think it's sick.
perfect looking effect for the horror of the oncoming ring wraith.
Yeah.
And I love.
It might also. It's like it's similar to like the fucking Jaws shot, but I
Yeah,
think probably just from
that's what I was
standing
thinking
still.
of. But yeah, a little twist on that. Yeah, when they're under the log, and a super subtle moment where the ring wraith, you hear it approaching, but you don't see it pass like the one side of the tree. It just comes out from the other side, even though you can see both sides of the tree. Just a beautiful little creepy touch, because like it just teleported there basically.
Yeah, it looks fucking creepy. The horse too, like it looks like it has blood on its hooves. Um, I also love how this is like a part where I was like, oh hell yeah, like Mary, because Mary fucking like throws something to like distract it, and then they like the ring wraith, the way it zips away too.
Yeah.
That's fucking the movement of it is really well
scream.
done.
I love how Frodo just like looks down and the ring's in his
Yeah.
hand, and he's like, "What the hell?" That to me is the first real like that. I mean, this is kind of the moment where they realize shit's real.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It is the moment where the weight, the gravity of everything really starts to settle in. Because that thing is fucking scary as fuck. But again, I just want to shout out. I love that Mary, like, in that moment. Like,
Was it Mary? I thought it was Sam for some reason.
no, it's Mary, like, throws,
love
like,
that.
like a bag of the vegetables.
Mary definitely gets a lot more moments to shine. Like, he kind of helps Pippin out a lot. But I do love how that dynamic kind of evolves through the movies too.
Yeah, what I liked too, there's the part later on where he realizes that like Frodo is leaving.
Yeah.
Like that's also
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
so good.
Absolutely. The
He chases them to the it's nighttime now.
Yes, and they're just like running through the darkness, and I love the shot of the Nazgul on the hill.
Just being hella spooky.
I think I had an edition of Fellowship of the Ring, and that was just like the cover of it.
That's scary.
Yeah, awesome shot though. Yeah, and then they get ambushed. They start running.
Yeah, also Mary is there's another moment for Mary where Mary's like, I think like, is it looking for something? Like, and he like kind of like implying to Frodo that like, I think right?
Yeah, and he's the one who's like, well, I can get you there. I'll take you to the Buckleberry Ferry.
Yeah, no, I do love that. Like he tells Mary, I need to get to Bree, man, and he's like, bro, I got you.
Yeah,
like
I
love that aspect of like the hobbits here,
Yeah,
where like
they're just so loyal and like
you ask them for a favor and they're like,
brave.
I got you, dude. Like
Yeah.
they pride themselves on being there for their friends. Like
Yeah.
they don't even give it a second thought, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. They arrive at Bree. Oh well, first they run away from.
The scene, the shot is cool because
Yeah.
like fucking Frodo does like a fucking action hero leap onto the
Yeah.
raft.
Yeah.
And Frodo needs some of those moments because I understand the weight of the suffering. It's hard. It sucks, but it's just like sometimes with him, it is like, fuck, dude, you're so depressing, man.
I think there's like a 5-minute video of him on YouTube just falling over. Like it's every scene.
Dude,
in
I
Lord
would-
of the Rings. It's just him
Yes,
falling over.
I would notice him falling so much. And I'm like, Frodo's so much more pathetic than I remember him being.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. It works for like the themes and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a little tiring sometimes. But I think it's well balanced. Like I think there's like almost like there was a consideration to like, okay, let's like make sure like we give this either like a little bit of levity or we have someone else to like sort of like brighten up the scene like a little bit, with Sam, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, they arrive at Bree. I love the little hobbit door face they
It's
have.
very funny.
ready.
Yeah, he's got the top door, he's got the bottom door.
And we see Peter Jackson here. He's eating a carrot and burping on the street.
And there are so many like sketchy looking dudes.
Yeah.
And I
love the
love
look of
the
Bree.
paranoia that sets in this scene.
This feels like such a perfect, like, dark, stormy D&D town.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. But like people are so unfriendly, like where I would like maybe like a little bit. Well, I mean, we get the innkeeper at the Prancing Pony. He's a little bit more friendly.
So in the books, and he kind of says that here, there's been strange folk about lately.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the ring wraiths are really scaring people, and so they're very
Everyone is
wary
scared
of
of them, yeah.
outsiders. And like the West is like where things get more magical in the Shire and stuff. So like these are kind of strange magical folk coming into their land while spooky things are happening. So I think they're more apprehensive.
Yeah, for sure. Because hobbits don't tend to leave the Shire, so they're not often seen outside of there. And I think that is something that you don't really like think about when you're watching the movies. But that's, I think, goes to show why some of the humans are sort of like reacting to them the way that they are, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's also a kind of sentiment in the books that they're like sending spies around. Like there's humans in the town that are like looking for them. So there's
I think
this
that's
like bit of paranoia going on.
No,
too.
like I said about I think that's implied.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a thing in the friggin' in this movie because he says there's this. Well, we have Pippin doing the classic. It comes in pints, and as he's ordering that pint, you hear him like say, "Yeah, I know a Baggins," you know. So like. Somebody is asking around, right? Like,
yeah, that's a great point. Yeah,
I think it's cool the way that it's done subtly like that. Yeah, and of course it's Mary, and you're like, God fucking. And
Pippin, it's Pippin.
Sorry, Pippin. Yeah, of course it's Pippin. I love the way he's explaining as well, like, this is how I'm related to him on my mother's side, and this is how I'm related to him on my father's side.
Yeah,
this really speaks to like how like quaint of like how small of like a community they are.
Yeah, I love it. Oh yeah, we see Strider.
Oh yeah, before that, yeah,
in the corner there, and I love that shot of him in the darkness with the light or his pipe lighting up in the
very iconic shot to me.
The light on his eyes, yeah, just what really a cool character introduction.
I remember when I read the book, when I read Fellowship of the Ring. I think these were like some of my favorite parts. Like, well, like all the parts at the beginning with Strider. I just remember being like, this guy's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, also I love Sam is the one who points it out to Frodo. He's like, that guy's been staring at you, man.
Yeah.
And they ask the innkeeper, and he's like, yeah, well, they don't know his real name, but people around here they call him Strider.
Good name.
Yeah, good name. I like someone who you're introduced to them with an alias. And then, then you learn like their real name. I don't know. There's something cool about that. Just sort of like the hiding of the identity.
The lore around the Rangers is really left out of the movies too. But like that's another thing, kind of implying that the area is getting more dangerous. Monsters seem to be stirring more. The dark forces are moving. Yeah. Is that there's more Rangers in the area, and like they're also kind of weary of these people, these killers. You know.
Yeah, I remember that in the book. They like kind of like address more in it. And I remember being like, Rangers are fucking sick. Like these are like really.
Oh, I think that's like where the D&D class like really comes from, right?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, just like traveling through the wilds, like bow at your back, sword at your hip, like ready to fucking kill like some sort of scary fucking monster. Like a fucking troll or some giant or some shit.
Yeah, because these used to be like kingdoms of men that kind of collapsed, and now they're kind of just like the outskirts of humanity in this region. Which is super interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Good lore.
The consideration, again, scale. Like the time scale that he is having things like occur on is very cool. Like,
right, because then you're going to come up on the ruins of some of this kingdom at the watchtower and all that, right? So just, really, really good world building. Nobody's shocked by that. Now
I'm shocked, dude.
Oh, yeah, so he puts the ring on. He falls over. The ring goes on. Eye of Sauron.
The way this happens the first time is kind of funny, dude.
Yeah, it's goofy. Yeah.
Is that how it happens in the book too?
No, I don't think so. I think Frodo ends up singing a song on the table, and he's like dancing, and then he falls off. And it is like this here where the ring, like he wasn't trying to put it on. It just like fell onto his finger, which is super cool.
Yeah, I think it's kind of silly.
I mean, it's the power of the ring.
Yeah. I
mean, we see it do shit like it abandoned Golem. Like it does things sometimes.
Yeah. I guess that's fair enough. It is just like, just in the content. I don't know. It's hard for me to not watch and be like, that's a little silly.
Sure.
I understand the justification, but feels kind of like, oh man, the heroin needle just like fell into my vein. Dude.
Well, I like it because it's. Like, it implies the ring is always looking for that moment to strike. Like, it's always trying to, accomplish its goal, and it shows more will of the ring in moments like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks for Frodo, though.
Yeah, and I...
Ruin his whole fucking life, dude.
So, I don't think in the books you get the Eye of Sauron seeing him when he puts the ring on, which is a big part of the story in the books, is that Sauron doesn't know that Frodo's coming with the ring. and in the movies, it feels like he should know. You know?
Yeah, and well, like when he puts it on too, it's like it's almost like an alarm going off to like all of those connected to like Sauron, right? Where they're like, oh, there he is. Like it's like almost like a GPS going off or something.
Yeah, I think that part of like darkness or evil is drawn to the ring is in there, but I can't remember exactly if they're talking about like the Nazgul will come and find you if you have it on.
Yeah, I mean, he even hears Sauron talking to him, like in the scene. You know, it's fucking freaky.
in the void.
Yeah, very freaky. And then when he reappears, you have Strider snatching him up, throwing him in the room, and he's like, "You gotta be more careful, dude. You gotta be way more careful, because that thing you got right there, dude, gotta be careful."
Yeah, what does he say? He's like, are you afraid to die? Not nearly enough.
Yeah, he
I know
does.
what's haunting you. Yeah.
I love the boys busting in to try to save Frodo.
Yeah.
Sam fucking calls him a long shanks.
Yeah. What does that mean?
These shanks are your legs.
Is he just tall? He's just calling him a tall guy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
And I love the line, you have a stout heart, little hobbit.
Yeah.
It's great shit.
Good stuff.
And I love how like Aragorn's like, respect. You guys came out for your boy. You were gonna take care of him. I love that. But don't worry, I'm gonna take care of you guys. Can't wait for the wizard. They're coming.
He's awesome. I think one of the best choices they made with Aragorn in the movies is that he doesn't want the throne. In the books, he's very much like, "No, this is my destiny, dog. Like, I got to reforge the sword and become king."
Oh, really?
There's
Yeah.
a whole poem about it. There's like a prophecy, and it's a really good poem.
I do remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that the whole prophecy of the sword and everything. I didn't remember that. I didn't know that, but that is a great change. I like that a lot. I think it's one of it's such a compelling part of it, especially the way that like Boromir and Boromir's death, like
Yes.
the way how it feels like
That's
is
when he
re-
steps up. Yes,
That's awesome. That's a
exactly.
great choice. That's really
Yes.
cool. I think it makes Boromir so much more like you makes me like him even more, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It is a great poem though. They were once men. Oh yeah, the Nazgul
Yeah.
busting in. I love the way when they come into the tavern, like they literally just like glide by, like they
Yeah.
must be on like a skateboard or something, but it looks so good.
Yeah, very
Just
cool.
with the smoke pouring in.
Some sort of dolly or something.
Yeah.
And the like inn owner just like, crouching in fear behind like the bar or whatever. Yeah, and then we see that, they pulled the classic switcheroo. Very funny the way they stab those things, and then it's like they open it up.
A little
hobbits
goofy.
here.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, it is goofy. Is that what happens in the book?
I don't think so. I don't think the Nazgul try to attempt, like they're closing in. I think like someone steals their horses or something. But yeah, I don't think you get the Nazgul busting in.
Steals the Nazgul's horses?
No, steals the party's horses.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
or
think
something.
that
Or
would
no,
be
they let all the horses loose from the stable so that nobody could ride out of town, so that like the hobbits couldn't, get away quickly.
Damn, I love the idea of somebody letting like
Stealing, and then just the Nazgul chasing after it.
just like goddamn kids. That would be funny if Pippin did that to them. That'd be nice little.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking funny as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love the whole thing. Like they were once men, explaining it.
Yeah.
If you didn't already connect that, these are the 9. Like that's just such a cool. Like some of the coolest like creatures in myth. I feel like
The
ring wraiths.
Nazgul.
Yeah, just like this menacing presence that's attached from thousands of years ago that used to be like great men.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I think I like other ones better, but I think
I'm
it's
not
pretty
saying
cool.
number 1, but up there, upper echelon of scary creatures and movies.
I
and
like
stories.
that. I like that sort of like because that's like a thing, right? Like these things that their spirit has been so corrupted that now they like live forever and they're like linked to this one thing. I love that. Like just love that as like a concept. And the Nazgul are really sick. And the fact that you see them in the beginning when they're talking about like the 10 rings of men, and that like they were like actually just like dudes that were turned into these like basically fucking like scary ghost guys.
Probably a lot of them were good guys. In Tolkien's world, like, there were good kings, there were bad kings, but a lot of them were just like, super heroic, like standing against the forces of darkness.
I mean, dude, regardless of if they were good or bad, they were dudes, They were dudes. They were just some guys, right? And
Yeah.
now they're fucking scary.
Yeah, they're real
Scary as fuck. The shrieking is so good, dude.
Yeah.
And it makes it so like really
Like a
like
banshee.
yes, I
Yeah.
love that. It's so
Yeah.
good. But yeah, I do have
And they use it as a weapon too.
yeah, it's really cool. I do have one slight problem with them, but we'll get
Yes.
to it.
Okay. So they're traveling with Strider. We get a nice little montage of them on the road. I feel like the landscapes are getting darker at this point. The music's getting a little more ominous. I think there's a lot of really like subtle storytelling happening with just like how they're
Yeah.
handling the tone.
Also, Gandalf has said like don't travel at night, and we see them I think traveling like in like sort of like darker settings and stuff. We get the iconic he doesn't know about second breakfast.
How dare he?
Yeah, how dare he? Saruman is he's obviously got the unlimited plan, or he's got like Sauron as one of his like fave fives in like T-Mobile, making unlimited calls on his Palantir.
On the Palantir, yeah. So apparently, Christopher Lee knew Tolkien, huge fan of the books, like read them every year, and the idea of him like all cradled up, looking like he's sick after he's talking to Sauron was his idea because he's like, no, this is like dark magic in the books, like this would affect you heavily, and
that's cool.
like coming in contact with this demigod affects you heavily.
That's cool. I love that. That's a really cool idea. Because I did notice that. I was like, damn, it really took it out of him. And you see Gandalf on the top of the. Oh well, the orcs are asking Saruman what the orders are from Mordor. He wants them to build him an army. Essentially, they start cutting down all the trees, and I love the shot of Gandalf is on the top. It's like raining, and you just see this wide shot of Gandalf curled up against like one of the like parts of the tower, like leaning against it with like all of the trees falling like in the background.
Totally, it looks so good. All the shots of him up there, and just like the way they do the special effects on the pits and everything looks amazing.
Isengard is so beautiful too. That when he goes there initially,
yeah,
all these trees, all this
the
nature,
mountains, yeah,
and he's like walking around with Saruman, and then by the end of like the movie, it's such like like the end of the movies, it's so fucking gross and so like barren.
And on the theme of evil destroying itself. Like, we know how Isengard, what happens to them in the two towers, right? Like, they are cutting down all the trees. They're disrupting nature, going against the flow of good. And it comes back to destroy them, you know?
Yeah. You fucking reap what you sow, buddy.
That's right. So they get to the Amansul Watchtower.
The Great Watchtower of Amansul.
Pretty sick name.
I love Frodo waking up and they have the fire. He's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And I love how he's like, you know, we got bacon and
yeah,
like,
this is
we
not
got tomatoes.
in the book at all, but it is so funny. But it's so dumb too. Like, it feels like unrealistic because it's like, come on, guys, you should know better. Like, you know what you're running from. You're on a cliffside with a fire. Like,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah.
But this is one thing I find really interesting between the books and the movies is that Tolkien, like, he was a soldier in World War I. He knows what combat experience is like, and he writes combat in a very like grounded way, where in the movies it feels more like the mythological kind of like heroes that, like, you know, Aragorn like takes them all on by himself. Like in the books they just basically like set up a ring of fire between them and
I remember that part of the books,
and like, you know, they're just barely holding them off, but it works for the movies. But like part of me also wants to see that version of it, of like, you know, like the very grounded realistic way Tolkien wrote it.
Look, you just spent so much time telling me how scary these guys are, and then this one guy, I don't care if he's the fucking heir to the fucking throne.
I agree.
I like, this is the problem in the movies with that. It's like, and like the
orcs are worthless in the movies. Like the hobbits, no combat experience. They're going toe to toe with the orcs like first encounter, you know?
Yeah, what I love about in the book with the Ring of Fire, like there's this level of like, let's like craft to it, right?
Yeah,
like,
where we're using everything we have so that we don't have to fight these things.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a sick fucking like scene.
It's
like,
amazing. It looks
he
good.
Looks dope fighting them.
The way they come out of the darkness.
But it's just, him looking dope fighting them almost makes it more disappointing because of the way that it doesn't like, you know, support the lore of the world or like the weight of what these creatures are.
And I never feel like Aragorn feels like he's in danger because he's just so unstoppably good with the sword, you know?
No, yeah, not at all. I
agree. But it does add, like, it is kind of like what a lot of people love about these movies, these big bombastic heroic like epic fights, you know.
Yeah, but there's plenty of room for that. There's
Yeah.
plenty of room for that. I don't think. I mean, and you could, dude, you can film a fun fight without the person completely crushing. Like, I mean, it's not like he kills all of them, but like
Yeah.
he like holds them off so easily, dude.
Yeah.
And he's doing all these like cool moves and shit. He can still do that and like hold them off a little bit, but not as much, you know? Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I definitely think they should have done what was in the book. I think that would be better, personally.
Yeah, I understand the choice. But yeah, I think I would prefer the more grounded in general. But there's so many great moments. It's hard to say. Nazgul showdown. Frodo stabbed.
He puts on the ring.
Yeah, I love just the way they look. Amazing.
Yeah.
Who came up with this visual design? Because holy shit.
Yeah, it's cool. And again, it's a good. This is something I like to talk about. Is like know your limitations with CGI. He's in the shadow world, which is already kind of like is mostly a digital like environment, right? That like a created environment. And then doing that in that world, it doesn't look as
Right.
bad. It looks good. It looks good. It like scary. They look ghoulish.
They're black eyes, like they're pits. They just have like pits in their head.
They're not like really like what they're like green. Like
Yeah, and they're
there's
all-
like
they're,
green
like,
sheen to them.
They all have such like just menacing, like
They're all like scowling,
scowling, yeah, just angry and like almost bored,
bitter.
bitter, yeah, very good.
Yeah. Great idea, great design. Well executed. He gets stabbed by the Morgul blade. Strider's not going to be able to help him. They need elvish medicine.
Yeah, so they set off. I like this transition of Frodo calling for Gandalf to probably like one of my favorite sequences in the movies. Just like this amazing,
The moth.
yeah, where at first just like is this the scary orc music or like Isengard music, whatever that music is. Oh, it's so good, yeah. And then
Dun, dun.
and then it's showing the pits, and then this transition to the moth, and it turns into this really like ethereal, beautiful music following the moth up to the top of the tower. It's just like, bro, like that's what this like. There's so much.
I think
about
once
what
at
the
your
story
house,
is
we
in there.
watched that scene like 5 times. Like,
Oh, really? Why?
yeah, we were watching. Well, I was watching. We were watching the extended versions.
Oh.
With Juan, and I think like we were just like that was sick, and then we just
that's
like
great.
backed it up and watched it like 4 more times.
It's so good. Yeah, I love that shot.
Very good. Yeah, awesome shot. And then like
I don't know how they did it. Like the pits, that's all CGI. Like, or is it miniatures? Like, what is going on there?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it looks sick though. I mean, they're like definitely like have some sort of like flying camera situation there, and I do love again like talking about scale, right? Like how huge is that like impending doom,
Yeah.
and how small is that hope? Like it's a great visual metaphor for the entire story, really.
Right, and just this little piece of beauty being Gandalf's rescuer.
I love that it's a moth too. It's not like a butterfly.
Yeah.
It's like a moth, which is
Yeah.
also like a symbol of death and like
Mm.
sometimes sort of thought of as like maybe kind of creepy, scary. I don't know.
That's great. Very interesting. Yeah, then it kind of goes back into the dark music and then back into the pits, and we meet the kind of like boss of Fellowship of the Ring, the Uruk boss, the final boss fight for Aragorn.
Oh yeah, the huge scary guy being born from the pit.
Yeah, and this happens a lot.
His name is Lurtz.
Is that right?
In the credits, yeah, they never say
Yeah.
it, and he doesn't have a name in the book either.
No,
He's
there
just,
is no like
Yeah,
mega boss.
no, but they wanted to put like a face to the Uruk-hai.
Good
for,
choice.
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
very dramatic ending for him. Yeah, the theme of evil destroying itself comes up a lot with just seeing how the enemies like the orcs and stuff treat each other. Like immediately just chokes an orc to death, and Saruman's just like meh.
yeah. Well, I mean, only the strong survive, right?
Yep. But that violence, it comes back to you.
It does. I think there was a point there where they're running through the woods, and they do say they're 6 days from Rivendell,
Right.
and Sam is like, Frodo's not gonna fucking make it, which is like, wow, dude, that's rough to see, right? Because like Sam is usually so like
Yeah.
positive. So when I heard him say that, I was like, dude, Sam, no, it's gonna be okay, I promise.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Sam's struggle is so Like he's the heart of the story in a lot of ways, right? Just like wanting to hold on to hope, but like there's
Yeah,
so
because
much is
Frodo
thrown at him.
becomes more and more like sort of like he's isolating, and he
Yeah,
starts to like stop communicating as
yeah.
much. And Sam is so much more like expressive
It's
than
like
he
he's
is.
sick. Like Frodo just like shuts
He's
down
like dope
eventually.
sick, dude.
Yeah.
He's like literally he's going through fucking withdrawals. Like
Right.
I think I think the movie does such a great job like showing that, because as a kid watching that, like I got that from it, and then like watching my friends like that happened to my friends, it feels like so on point, like so well done and so well acted too.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't give Elijah Wood enough credit in these movies. I think he's very like subtle actor, and I think he's really really solid with
Yeah,
it.
very interesting. Like the choices of like the accents, where like you've got Pippin doing his actual accent because he's Scottish. Dominic Monaghan is, I don't know where he's from. I think he's like English or something, right? I think he's just doing his accent.
Mm-hmm.
And then fucking Sean Astin fucking doing the most, doing this fucking awesome fucking like British accent. And then Frodo doing this like sort of very like light like, because like what Sam is doing, he's doing like this like country sort of like UK, like maybe Midlands. I'm not sure about the specific, but doing this like accent that really really like I think captures the vibe of what all of the hobbits are kind of like.
That's
I think
a good point.
I think the three of them with those accents all sound great, but it is kind of funny that Frodo, and then that he also stands out in this way very easily, which is a good thing for the movie.
Yeah.
That his dialogue, you always know it's him, because he has this very sort of like subtle, like I'm American and I'm just gonna do like this little like London kind of like slight London accent, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not like right. It is, but it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's a good call out.
But I just want to say again, Sean Astin is an American actor, and he's fucking killing it with his dialect work. I think in this movie, I think he's doing really fun.
That's awesome. I'm gonna
Fucking
listen for that
accent.
more.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Frodo, you know, this is, like I think that's why it's become so iconic too. You know, you hear people.
Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
Yeah, and the fucking, you know, like I can't carry it, but I can carry you.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the stone trolls. So these are supposed to be Bilbo's trolls, I think, that they're underneath here. That turn to stone in the Hobbit. And Arwen rolls up. And damn,
Yeah, she's like a glowing figure.
I love it. Great introduction
They
to
are
elves.
looking for a Thalos or a Kingsfoil to
Yeah.
try and like slow the poison down, right?
I like the little lore of like having multiple names. Again, just like simple thing, but fleshes out the world, you know?
No, I love that. I love that. And it's a very smart, very like obviously this guy understands the way language works. And also I think that like, you know, he's using like the elvish name
Right.
for it, right? Like pointing to
Right.
Aragorn's like elvish
Right.
sort
And
of
Sam
education.
was like the gardener caretaker at.
Yeah.
So like it's also just like a nice moment for him to be like, yeah, this is what I'm good at.
And I love Aragorn also seeing his like that he's concerned for his friend, like pulling him in and giving him something to do, right?
Yeah. Great leader.
Yeah.
Great character. And yeah, we get Arwen, and she's like, no, I'm gonna get him and get out of here.
Yeah, she's asking him to come back to the light.
Yeah, and I love this sequence of her riding towards Rivendell.
I also like them having the discussion about like who's gonna do it, and she's like,
Yeah.
"I'm the faster rider."
Yeah.
So in the book, does it happen like this?
Well, no, it's like I think Rivendell like sends out some soldiers to go looking for them, and so it's I forget his name, but it's just like some
Oh right,
Dude.
yeah, it's some like some
like
dude,
warrior, yeah,
some cool soldier
some
guy.
cool guy.
I think a fun idea to give this to Arwen though.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Liv Tyler's sick in this movie.
I kind of wish they could get her into more of the movie, but it's also like it doesn't fit with the book, so it's like
Yeah.
it's fine as it is. But I think she's great. I really like what they do with Arwen.
I like her and Aragorn. Like
Yeah.
they're cute. I like the way that they look too. Liv Tyler and Viggo Mortensen like next to each other, like and the way they act off of each other, I think is really well done. And immediately like their dynamic is like, you know, very like you can tell how they feel about each other, just
Yeah.
the way that they're talking, where he's like, no, like I'll take him, and she's like, no, I'm the faster rider, I have to take him. And
Yeah.
very cool.
There's a scene in the extended edition where I think Frodo wakes up to Aragorn singing, and it's a song in Elvish about like a really famous part in the Silmarillion, like a super famous love story. Like I think even Tolkien and his wife would like call them each other the names from this from this section of the Silmarillion.
Oh my god.
And it's on their tombstones.
Oh my god.
It's really cute though. But in that story, the elf made a deal with the gods to give up her immortality to live a mortal life with a man. And so they kind of just like take that from the lore and add it to their love interest. But I like that in the extended, you get a little moment of him singing it and addressing it, and he's feeling like, sad about it. It's like Baron and something. I forget what their names are, but yeah, good lore stuff. Yeah, and then we get the wraiths after her. I love the music here. It's so epic, heightened.
Is it Luthien?
Yes. Good stuff. Yeah, they go on a crazy, like, he basically made a deal with her father to steal one of the Silmarillions from Morgoth's crown in order to marry her.
Yeah, I've
they should make that's what Rings of Power should have been about, or like I want a spin-off that's like that adventure. It's insane. He has to battle Sauron, and like Sauron turns into like a crazy wolf thing.
Yeah, I also like that. I like that aspect too. Like, I mean, so they want to do like a physical depiction of him for this, right? Like with the eye and everything,
right.
Which I think a lot of that not in the book.
Yeah,
but it is cool. Like
it's
in the
talked
lore,
about.
He was like a shapeshifter.
Yes,
a lot, and he would like turn into different animals. That's so cool.
Yeah, like he was like a vampire kind of. Like he would turn into bats and stuff, and like really trippy.
I've watched a lot of a lot of videos, and I saw one definitely about that story. The one that the channel that I really liked, I'm just gonna shout them out because I keep saying I've watched so many lore videos, and I think
I have
such a fun way to like engage with it. But Nerd of the Rings, I don't think it was called that when I was watching it, but
I've definitely watched a bunch of that one. There's a couple of really good ones. I don't remember what they're called right now, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a Tolkien lore.
If you're really into Lord of the Rings and you're not familiar with like some of those stories from the Silmarillion, I recommend checking some of that stuff out.
Yeah, I think there's In Deep Geek did the really good Tom Bombadil video.
Oh, I might have seen that actually.
It's like an 11-minute video. It's really good, really, really interesting, really fun thing. Again, Tom Bombadil is such an interesting character, not in the movies, but like this sort of the most fascinating like character in the entire story.
Just like most mysterious, and probably the most powerful. Like I get the sense that he could just like walk into Mordor and like tear down like the castle and like no problem.
But he just doesn't care. Like he's like a Dr.
Affairs. Dude, all he wants to do is spend his he has a wife, and it's the spirit of the river, and he just wants to hang out with her and write songs for her.
That's really cute. It is like a little bit of like a cuter Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great. We get the great river showdown.
Yeah, Frodo's not. Yeah, and she calls the river, sweeps them up. Very cool, very fun. I do like that a lot, and I love the way she's just like whispering. Yeah, and it sounds like rushing water, and then it turns into the sound of rushing water.
It's really well done, and it looks great. Again, like for 2001, like these visual effects, like this, it looks as good as I could expect. I feel like for some of this stuff.
Yeah. Frodo's not looking so hot though, and Arwen's like, "Bro, you gotta hold on, dude."
So one really funny note from the book: there's a part after this when Frodo wakes up and Gandalf's like explaining like some stuff to him, and he brings up, he's like, "Oh yeah, the thing with the river, yeah, that was me and Elrond. I did the horses. Pretty sick, huh?"
Yeah, I think I remember that from the book as well.
That was so funny.
That it was like Elrond was also involved.
Yeah, they're working together.
Just the way that like magic can be cast over such like long distances, you know?
Yeah, because Elrond was like watching them through this sequence, basically. Yeah. We get this kind of flashing healing montage with Elrond speaking over.
This is a little cheesy.
A little cheesy.
It was a little cheesy. Not my fafavorite. Takes me out of it a little bit. It is like if you don't remember, dated. It is like this weird. Yeah, it feels like it would have felt dated back then. It's like the shot. Basically, I think the implication is like just like looking up, right? Yeah. Like almost like you're laying on your back at Rivendell, and then there's overlays flying in of Elrond's face and then Frodo's face, and it's the healing magic. And again, the questions of like how do you depict these things? Not like this, but hey, you know what? It doesn't ruin the movie.
Yeah, it's fine for me. I don't love it, but I don't dislike it either. Like it's just
I don't like it. I think it's not good.
It's adequate for me.
I think it's not good.
Gandalf is back, baby.
He is, and I like this part where it is funny. Also, I love the comedy, but also like the sort of like background, the whole like Why didn't you meet him? Why didn't you meet us? I'm sorry, I was delayed. And then cut to like him like getting tortured on top of the
this
fucking
is
tower.
one of the best sequences in the movie, right? It's
And he's
so
like,
epic.
And he's like, "What are you thinking about?" "Oh, nothing." You know,
Yeah.
like
I love his line to Saruman. There is only one Lord of the Ring, only one who can bend it to his will, and he does not share power.
yeah.
And the shot of him flying away again with the moon behind the tower and everything, and Saruman's silhouette there, it just looks so cool.
Very cool. I like it a lot. I like him falling onto the eagle. I
Uh,
wonder what that eagle was up to.
for the whole story,
Yeah.
chilling, doing nature stuff like Tom Bombadil.
Really, I think that there's like people have like explored this like a lot.
Okay,
And
you have
talked
a
about
hot take?
No.
Okay.
No, but I think that's like they're doing important shit. They're not just like hanging
Oh,
out.
maybe like
They're like fighting or like helping.
they're
to
going where they
fight.
need to be, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's also like there was a video. I don't know if it was like an AI generated video, but of Tolkien like responding to it.
No, I think that's someone doing an impression. It's been around a while, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like over a video of like him.
A lot. Oh, I haven't seen that. That's great. Yeah, like it's like a lot of people ask me, why didn't the Eagles just take them to Mount Doom? And I say, shut up, or something like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, the most practical thing is like there wouldn't be a fucking 3 books about it, I guess.
Well, the way I see it is, this is like humanity's. This needs to happen in the eyes of Iluvatar, like humanity and like the hobbits, and the races have to work together to do this, and like he can't just influence it all.
Word, for sure. Makes sense.
It's about like freedom of will, kind of.
Yeah. What a helpful guy.
Yeah, yeah. Rivendell, beautiful.
Very cool.
Oh my god,
Very cool.
amazing! Like one of the best fantasy locations ever. It's so pretty.
Yeah, yeah. I think I like Lothlorien more.
I'm on board with, yeah. They're both like, again, top tier.
I just like Tree City is
yeah,
so
Tree
cool.
City is so sick. I love the colors of both. They're kind of just like, yin and yang for me, because it's like one is dark and mysterious, and this is like bright and beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. I think I just like the like thought of being in like a Tree City is just so sick.
I like how much architecture you get in Rivendell, and like all the paintings and stuff.
It is very cool. I love like all of elven architecture is very, very cool. I watched a YouTube video recently about how how elves are kind of annoying. It was very funny.
I can see that. Yeah, they are very like. I mean, a lot of the problems in the Silmarillions was them like getting into very human-like conflicts.
Yeah, but then they're all like, men,
right?
So much better than them. Also knowing that Elrond is half human and he's like, men are weak. You know?
Yeah. Well, maybe he sees himself as kind of weak. Could be some introspection there.
This is his brother Celebrimbor. Is that his brother who chose to be human?
Is he the one who crafted the Silmarillions?
I don't know.
This is some deep lore shit.
Yeah, dude. It is pretty deep. Elrond's brother's name is Elros. Sorry, Celebrimbor was the elven smith who made the Rings of Power. Elros is the first king of Númenor, and he establishes the lineage that eventually leads to Aragorn.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
there's some really good stuff with Aragorn's lineage. They like slayed a dragon at great cost, like the King of Dragons or something like that. Really good stuff there. And I think you were talking about like his disdain for men. There's also some really good stuff in the Silmarillion where elves kind of despise men to an extent, or not despise, but they resent them because it is basically written in like Iluvatar's vision that they will have like an afterlife and like a new paradise, but that is not promised to the elves, and so they don't know what happens to them when they die. And they're very scared of that.
Yeah, I remember that from learning about the lore as well. Is that
I like that a lot.
That they're almost like, oh, humans are like Iluvatar's like favorites.
Chosen one. Yeah. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Bilbo is old now. I love him reuniting with everyone.
I just really quickly, I want to shout out again. We're talking about the Silmarillion and shit. Like, I love the origins of the different races. Like,
super cool. The dwarves,
very fun.
Yeah, the look up online how the dwarves were made, because that story is amazing. Bilbo's old now.
He is. He looks like shit.
Yeah, too bad.
No, he doesn't. He looks okay. He's just
like
very old.
He's
Yeah,
very old man. Yeah.
And like not like you can see that he's not even like as sharp as he was before.
Yeah.
And
really well done.
Great job on the acting for that. I really, really like that.
He kills it.
Yeah, Ian Holm from fucking, oh my god.
Alien,
dude.
yeah.
I was gonna say Fifth Element because I fucking love that movie. But yeah, Ian Holm is great in this.
You gave Alien an S tier,
What do you mean?
so you also love that movie.
Yeah, I like Fifth Element more. Like I've just seen that movie a million times,
Hell yeah.
and it's funny and like just like very like comfortable movie for me. I love that movie. It's
Hell yeah.
it's one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
I think.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Also, I think since watching the whole the documentary about Jodorowsky's Dune and learning about Mobius
Yeah.
and reading The Incal, I really love that because it's just like a really obvious like reference to like to that work.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's some really interesting lore around all that stuff. Elrond is basically telling Gandalf, like, that we can't keep the ring here. You're telling me Saruman's on their side now. Like, we're not strong enough to face. And I love that's another theme. Not one of our major themes, but the theme of the magic leaving the world and like the race, like the elves are slowly leaving the land, and like there's less and less dwarfs around. The hobbits are kind of just like hidden in this one last little like magical area.
Yeah.
I find all that stuff super compelling.
And before this, we also have Sam like is all packed up and like
Yeah.
he's like, well, I figured since you're better, we're gonna be on our way home soon. And then Frodo looks at him and he like smiles. He's like, yeah, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
Too bad, bro.
And I also really like this line Frodo has to Bilbo where he's like, my own adventure turned out to be quite different. Kind of like how he always wanted some big, like, again,
Yeah.
it makes me think of like signing up for war. Like, we're going to go save the country. It's going to be glorious and patriotic. And then it's like, oh, that was hell.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's a good sort of like realization for him in that moment. And I love it because also what I love is when you read The Hobbit, you know that Bilbo was so like reluctant.
Yeah.
And like because hobbits hate doing this
I kind of
shit.
take that from his response where he's just like, because he says, I'm not like you. And he just kind of like, comforts him, strokes his face. Like,
Yeah. And I think that it's cool that like, oh, now Bilbo is like had this crazy adventure and he tells all these stories, and so now he's influencing hobbits to want to be like, oh, I want to go on an adventure. Very interesting to sort of see that change, like, or that sort of the influence that he's had on his like nephew, right?
absolutely.
Also so interesting that he is his like uncle as
Yeah.
well. Like such a Tolkien choice. Like it's not his dad. It's his uncle.
His parents drowned, which makes that ending scene with Frodo saving Sam always hit way harder for me too, which I don't think is in the books. I think one of the best additions. Oh yeah, just we get the flashback here. It's because of men the ring survived.
Yeah, Elrond tells the whole story because he's like, look, man, I was there. I saw it happen. Men are weak. They can't do this. We also get the things like, the elves are leaving. Who are you gonna put your trust in after that? And he says the dwarves. They're just they're so like self-involved. They don't care about anybody else. And Gandalf says that they must look to men, and that's why Elrond is like, no, dude, fuck men, dude. They fucking suck, dude.
Yeah,
I watched it happen, dude. They're so easily corruptible.
In
They're so weak.
foreshadow, Aragorn had like turned away from that past a long time ago, but like
Yeah, he says
settling.
men are leaderless, and Gandalf says one could unite them.
Yeah,
And Elrond says he turned from that. He's chosen exile.
right.
And really good like filmmaking. We immediately see Strider sitting in the chair reading.
Yeah, this scene has always irked me a little bit because I feel like it puts a little too much of a bad taste in your mouth for Boromir in your first impression.
Yeah, for sure.
Where like he picks up the broken sword of Narsil and no more than a broken heirloom after he drops it on the ground, and he's kind of like embarrassed.
He also cuts himself with it.
Yeah, and he's embarrassed by Strider seeing him do it, so he doesn't pick it back up, and it's just like I don't know if you needed that because the implication more in the story is like he's a really stand-up, like he's like the hero of Gondor.
Yeah, is that in the book that he drops the sword?
No.
Yeah, I think it's unnecessary.
Yeah, but it sets up a nice moment for Aragorn of like the same blood flows in my veins, the same weakness, talking to Arwen about.
Yeah, the way he gets to pick it up and put it back down there.
Yeah, so it's a nice moment, but I think it undercuts Boromir just a little bit.
I like her line too. Why do you fear the past?
Yeah.
Very cool line.
Yeah.
Very good line.
Beautiful scene of them on that bridge. It just looks so like magical.
Yeah.
And she's giving the necklace to him.
So I guess Viggo Mortensen is trilingual. He speaks Danish, English, and Spanish, and he specifically requested the
This part,
the
to be
script be
Elvish.
changed to include him speaking more Elvish.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And I like it too because again, like I think in the book maybe they talk like shout it out more, but like that he's spent so much time amongst elves, you know?
Yeah, I also got to point out really quick because this is so funny in the books. The way you realize that Aragorn or like Strider is Aragorn is Bilbo's going around looking for Aragorn so he can write his songs with him. Like they're writing music together, and he's like, "Oh, like we gotta finish this verse," and like Aragorn does it. He goes and sits down with him before their feast or whatever, and writes some music with him. It's just like so sweet.
In Rivendell?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It's really good. But you know, it's touching on the more poetic side of Aragorn's character.
Yeah. Arwen gives the necklace to him that represents her immortality. And she says that and she also mentions that the first time they met, she said that she would give up her immortality to be with him.
Right, which is movie fiction, but it works for the story.
Yeah.
I don't. You can't just like give up your immortality in the lore.
No, it's cool for her to give him the like necklace. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that symbol throughout the movie.
Exactly. And it's left very vague, everything going around with it. So it's a little murky, that piece of lore they added in, but like, yeah, it works really well emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
that
we have
line,
the council as well.
would rather share one life with you than face all the ages of the world alone.
Yeah, that's good. Very
great
cute.
Great line. Yeah, Council of Elrond. What a great scene of just like seeing what the ring does to people.
Yeah, it is. It is also like going through the logistics and just like the logic, like of like, can we do this? No. Can we do that?
Right.
No.
It's the kind of thing you would do with your friends if you're talking about the story. Like, why didn't they just do this or that? And like, you see them going through the options.
Yeah. Because and then this is the first time we see Boromir's like, why don't we use it, right?
It's a gift.
Yeah.
To the enemies of Sauron or whatever.
He says, yeah, it's a gift to the enemies of Mordor. And Aragorn's like, nah, brah, only Sauron can use it. And I love how immediately there's this kind of like setting up that they've got a little like tension between them, right? And as you get more context too, and they talk about it, right? Like, because he's literally right here. He's like, how would you know about anything, Ranger? And Legolas is like, this is like fucking Isildur. This is Aragorn. This is Isildur's heir. And Boromir, I love this where he's like, Gondor has no king and needs no king. I kind of love that.
Pretty
where
good,
it's like,
yeah.
bro, we've been taking care of like the White City for so fucking long while you're like out finding yourself. Fuck you. We don't need you. Like, we can take care of ourselves.
And I love that narrative, especially in the movies. I'm a little more murky on what I know Aragorn was taking care of business and stuff, but like, yeah, why aren't you reclaiming the throne yet? I think it's more of just like the prophecy isn't foretold yet kind of thing in the books. But yeah, but I like that for Aragorn's character in the movies. Like, yeah, why have you not been helping your people?
Yeah. In the movies, I feel like it's very compelling, where it's like you feel the tortured aspect of him, and also like the conflict with Boromir as well, kind of like resenting him, right?
Absolutely.
Especially like his family is the people who have been the stewards of Gondor. Like essentially, they are the kings of Gondor, like taking care of it, right?
Yeah, I mean the amount of people he's lost. Like you can understand Boromir's frustration in this scene as like they are the front line getting like demolished every day.
Yeah,
and here you guys all are just being like, no, we should do this with it. We should do that. Like,
which
bro,
I think
we are the ones who are bearing all of this.
Yeah, I think it's what makes him so like brings you to understand why he's so tempted by it.
Yeah,
because he is the one who's on the front lines like all the time. Like he's been there. He's seen it. He knows how horrible the forces of Sauron are.
I mean, it sums it up pretty well later when he's trying to take the ring from Frodo. And he's like, I only asked for the strength to defend my people.
Yeah. I think in that line too, he says like, I could just borrow it just to like, help my people out, dude. Yeah, just lend it to me, dude. Yeah. This is very funny.
Gimli attempts to destroy it.
That's fun.
I love Frodo like reacts like he feels like he was struck. Frodo during this scene is so good. Doesn't say anything until that one line, or like until the end of the scene.
When he says, I will take it.
Yeah, and just like when he first puts down the ring, he's just like, okay, I did it. I don't have to worry about that. I'll never have to touch this ring again. And then the way it kind of torments him throughout the whole meeting, and then how he sees it turn into chaos and the fire and the ring, and hears the voice of Sauron. He's like, it has to be me. Like,
what I think is so great is everyone's arguing. Like they erupt into arguing, and like the soundscape is just overwhelmed by the sound of these voices, and it slowly fades away.
Yeah.
As we focus on Frodo staring at it, and you hear him hearing the black speech, right?
Yeah.
And just coming to the realization, like, I have to do this. Like, and I think being able to capture that moment of like, you know, I mean, it's been said many times before. In life, you got to do things that you don't like sometimes. You got to do things that are not fun, and it sucks, and it is so anxiety
Right.
provoking. And like the moment before you finally decide to be like, okay, I am going to do this because I need to do this, is so overwhelming. And
Right.
I think they really captured that sentiment in the way that they filmed this
Absolutely.
moment. And then it does give like, you know, you're like, damn, Frodo's like kind of fucking badass.
Yeah,
dude.
and
Like,
I think it makes the ending hit even harder, where he's standing on the shoreline, like, God, I can't do this.
yeah,
It's so good.
it is really good.
Yeah, and then we get the Fellowship of the Ring. You have my sword. You have my axe. You have my bow.
Yeah.
It's time. Let's kick some ass.
I love Sam popping out of nowhere and Elrond being like, I guess we can't keep you guys apart.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Merry and Pippin are like, yeah, we're going too. And then Pippin's like,
Where
wait,
we going?
where are we going?
Yeah.
Which is very dumb.
It's very dumb,
but
but
funny.
it's funny. Yeah.
And then Bilbo gives Frodo Sting in the mithril.
Love this scene.
Very cool.
I love yeah, just like Bilbo's
Well,
reaction,
very
so
heartbreaking.
terrifying.
Yeah.
And then the way he breaks down and just the simple hand on the shoulder, like him apologizing for everything. It's just really powerful.
Yeah, and realizing like, wow, dude, I put so much on you with this. Like, I'm so fucking sorry.
Yeah, this isn't in the book either, but it's just an amazing scene.
The way his face shifts
At
is
least I don't
so
remember.
terrifying. I remember
Yeah.
watching it in theaters and being like, that was really fucking scary.
Probably like the scariest thing in all the trilogy. Like.
Yeah, and I remember being like, did he just make his face do that? Because like it happened so quickly, and then realizing later on, no, it's like some sort of like digital effect that they're doing.
Yeah,
But it's very freaky.
yeah, and he's like turning into Golem for a second.
Yeah.
And yeah, they take off, and we get the kind of like iconic. Like I feel like a lot of people just think of this sequence when they think of Lord of the Rings, like them walking through the mountains and the beautiful
Yeah.
landscapes with the main theme playing, and then we get the
It
like.
comes in so hot, just like
We get the shots of them walking over the rocks, one like the hero shot.
yeah, it's great. That's all the shit where you're like, wow, dude, it'd be sick to go to New Zealand.
Yeah. So yeah, the Gap of Rohan is no good. It's being watched by Saruman. We get the Crabine coming in. Oh, I love Boromir fighting with the hobbits. That's a very humanizing, cute scene.
Yeah, very cute.
Really good.
Again, like I said, his relationship with Merry and Pippin is just like so great. Like
Yeah.
they like
very
the way
pure.
that you see them like becoming like friends.
Yeah.
Gimli wants to go through the mines of Moria, and this is where we first see that Gandalf is super reluctant. He does not like that idea.
Again, I understand why they did it. In the books, it's pretty well known that Moria is like cursed, and Gimli's actually like the strongest like naysayer to going to Moria.
Yeah, it's interesting that they wanted to do that because like they just forced them that way through like circumstance anyway.
I think it was meant to be a little character arc for Gimli of like not accepting what's happened to his family or like the people he loved, and then having to deal with that where he already knows the reality of Moria when he goes there.
It's not very impactful though.
It's not super strong, but it gives him something as a more comic relief character in the movie.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say earlier when he's crying over his like cousin's tomb, you're like, it's kind of funny. Like
I don't know if I'd say that, but
it is like, well,
it's not pulling at my heartstrings.
well, the way
right
he's
now.
crying is very like big, like very broad.
No!
Yeah, it's like, and I think with everything else, that's why like you set up a pattern, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm seeing this comedically.
Yeah.
It's not like really giving the weight that it should.
Yeah, in the books, I remember that was like when I really started to think about just like, wow, I kind of like this more than him in the movies. Where in the book, he's like talking about Moria, and he's like basically reciting a poem about it, and like just like his people and like the horror that came upon them, and it's like very mature and like yeah, a lot of dignity, you know. But he's just kind of a silly guy in the movies. Yeah, they try the mountains. I love this sequence.
The big snowy mountains, yeah. The pass of Caradhras.
Yeah, the ring on the ground. I remember seeing this, I think, in the making of, where like the ring getting picked up is actually like a massive ring, and they're using a crane to pick it up. And I guess it was like really hard to get the crane up there. And it's like, was that necessary? I mean, it looks epic and heavy, I guess, but like, damn.
Yeah, that's wild. Sean Bean is scared of flying, and they would take a helicopter
I heard this, yeah.
up every day, like to take them there. And so what he would do is he would get dressed at the base of the mountain, and then he would hike 2 hours
That's
every
wild.
day for the filming of this part. Already dressed like Boromir, and the other members of the cast said that they would see him like walking as they were getting flown up.
Good exercise.
That's so fucking funny, dude.
It is. I love his line, so much fear and doubt over such a small thing.
Yeah, the way he's like just kind of like it is funny how he's like picked it up and suddenly he like is like having like it's like talking to like someone who's like on like psychedelics or like or like just
like
like
a trance.
stone.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh man, isn't it wild how like we're like doing all of this stuff just because of this little tiny thing?
That's such a good point. That's funny.
It was just very funny to think about it like that. It was just like, whoa, man, we're so big. This thing's so small, but like it has like so much power.
I love just the little seduction you see happening between him and the ring there. It's very, very well done, I think.
Yeah, and Aragorn telling him to give it back and Frodo snatching it back, you know?
And you have
and
Aragorn,
you see like taking his hand off his sword.
Yeah, wild. Yeah, and so Saruman starts like spelling at them with his magic.
Because the crows come back and they tell him, they're like, yeah, he's going over Caradhras.
Yeah, and I don't know what version I saw this because I had subtitles on for this, but it wasn't here. Apparently what they're saying in like Elvish is like the mountain. They're like Saruman is like waking the mountain spirit, and Gandalf's like trying to put it back to sleep, which is such a cool idea. Like that's not in the book, but I think that's super cool. There is a mountain spirit in the book, but it's actually like in the book it's like the mountain has had so many wars on it and so much death because it's like this pass that it like resents all of humanity and doesn't want anyone on it. And so it starts it makes a storm to push them off the mountain, basically.
That's fucking funny. Yeah.
I love the little detail of Legolas walking on the snow here too. Everyone else is like stuck in, and he's just like light as a feather.
Which is supposedly what also happens in the story because elves are so like light on their feet that they can walk on top of the snow.
Yeah, and he just like comes back. He's like, yeah, it's a rough time. We should go back.
I like also that like Saruman is like setting the like, I know that you're scared. You're scared of Khazad-dûm. And I love the line where he says, what if the mountain defeats you?
Yeah.
Very cool.
In his description where it's showing the Balrog in the book, the dwarves delve too greedily and too deep. Like that's just such a famous line.
Yeah, it's great. It's very cool. I love the way that they play it out because it is like Legolas is like, a fell voice is in the air, which is so great, right? And then like, you know, them like doing their like long distance wizard incantation battle.
So cool.
And then Saruman, dropping the sort of like exposition of like, this is why he's scared because there's something been awakened down there.
And it looks so awesome with the black clouds coming in towards the mountaintops with that big camera shot of Saruman up there. It looks insane. So cool.
What they awoke in the darkness of Khazad-dûm.
Love it.
Yeah, pretty cool. And I also like Gandalf being like, all right, you choose, Frodo. What do you want to do? And Frodo's like, let's take the fucking mines.
Yep.
Giving him like that sort of like agency.
I think that's what that always makes me think of is kind of the Iluvatar thing of like, or the birds, right? Like where he can't, the wizards are meant to like guide. They're these angels that are meant to like guide the world towards like good, right? Towards Iluvatar's vision. But like they're not meant to take the reins, and so like I like little moments of that. You know, like the ring bearer it's his destiny.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, trying to remain somewhat like not fully just controlling like the path of like humanity, right?
Yeah. The gates of Moria looks great. Speak friend and enter. They say goodbye to Bill.
Yeah.
I think Bill does come back in the books.
That's cute. Cool. That's fucking awesome. Don't worry, Sam. He knows the way home.
I think when they come back to the Shire, they find Bill. Like, has like, oh yeah, that's because that's the thing too. Like, horses that get lost in the woods all the time and stuff from war and stuff. Tom Bombadil would like take them in, and they would just like live with Tom Bombadil for years, and then like just like come back to town like all healthy and happy.
That's hella funny. I love that. It's very cute.
Yeah. Do not disturb the water.
I had a poster on my bathroom door for several years of like a depiction of this, the Watcher in the water. Very cool. Yeah,
amazing design. One of maybe the coolest creature design in the movies.
Yeah, it is cool. I like also just like that. I don't know. I love the sort of way that they're forced to do what they need to do here, right?
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh shit, they're like, all right, let's turn around. There's nothing good here. And then like, fuck it. Like with like everyone's just like dead. Then he gets like fucking snatched, right? And then like, they're like, no, we have to run in. And then it just like collapses the whole fucking like, the whole fucking entrance.
Yeah.
And so now they're stuck and they have to go through.
Very epic. I like Gandalf's little flashlight on the top of his staff.
This is very cool. I also like before they open the door, it is very fun, like how long it's taking. And Gandalf's like, well, I don't know what to do. And Frodo's like, it's a fucking riddle, dude. What's the? And then he asks him, what's the?
Nice little moment for Frodo. Yeah.
And I guess the Elvish word for friend. I mean, they don't pronounce it like this, but it's written melon.
Melon. Melon. Yeah.
Melon.
Yeah, melon. Traveling through Moria. Moria looks great. I forgot just like it's so dark, but like the little bits of civilization you see left behind in there, and like just how vast the caverns look and everything. It's very cool.
Yeah. Gandalf's resignation when he says like now we must face the long dark of Moria, and he explains it's 4 days to the other side. It's fucking crazy.
That's wild. Yeah.
Again,
I
a
really,
sense of scale. Very
one
cool.
of my favorite. This might be my favorite section in the first book. Just like this. Traveling through Moria, it just feels very like, fantasy dungeon crawling. You don't know what's around every corner. There's so much fear and paranoia, and like this demon in the deeps. Good stuff. The three paths. I mean, this scene, bro, so good. Gandalf can't remember which way to go. Frodo sees Gollum.
Yeah.
Hopping up. Gandalf already knew. Gollum was
Been
following them
for 3 days.
This is a really good thread in the books that I feel like they could have leaned on more, because I think the whole party is aware that Gollum is after them, and it becomes like this kind of just like the axe hanging over you the whole story, where it's just like he's closing in. They're all nervous about him. They're like, we should just kill him, and like where are we gonna find him? Basically, he's crafty.
Yeah, I do. I also love that line where Frodo's like saying, Bilbo should have killed Gollum when he had the chance. And then Gandalf says, do not be too eager to deal out death and judgment.
So good.
And then I love the thing about Gollum still has a part to play. Foreshadowing, you know, because in the end of the story, like Frodo isn't going to cast the fucking ring away,
Yeah.
And it takes fucking Gollum coming in.
I mean, that's like the most climactic evil destroying itself moment, right?
Yeah.
And like, he says like, because he's like, yeah, it's a pity that stayed Bilbo's hand, and that pity might rule us all, basically, because of like, the implication of some sense of destiny that Gandalf feels around Gollum is really interesting, and it's like that kind of thing I like with the magic, right? Where I don't need to know why he thinks that. It's just like he's an extremely powerful person, and he, has some prescience.
Yeah, for sure. I love the little let me risk more light, to kind of show off the like amazing scale of Duero Delph, It's such a sick wide shot with like all of the columns and like the way that it all comes into light, and it's just so dwarvish, just so very like organized and like, like impressive like work of like masonry.
Yeah, it's great. Duero Delph, I think they called it.
Duero Delph.
Yeah, it's great. Balin's tomb. Pippin knocks the skeleton down the well.
The way also they're just like walking, and then suddenly Gimli's like, oh, and like runs off, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And he runs into the room, and then like, it was a little funny to me. It's like, oh, he saw his like the tomb from that far away,
Yeah, it is a little chunky the way it's executed. It's a good point.
I like Gandalf handing Pippin his hat and his staff so that he can read the book, and he's reading like the chronicle of what happened. I also love Legolas, just like he has this like sixth sense, like sort of this whole time where he's like, let's keep moving. Like we can't just stay still, right? Like,
yeah, another of those magical intuition things I really appreciate. It's just like you said, like he was the first one to hear the fellow voice on the air, feel it or whatever.
And then he knows when the Uruk-hai are like coming for it. Like he feels them like chasing them.
Yeah.
Then we have one of them I think most sort of like comedic moments where like fucking Pippin knocks something into the well, something small into the well, and then like knocks the whole fucking skeleton into it. So it's
and
like
it drags the bucket because the chain is like attached to it as well.
So it makes so much fucking noise.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
And then I love how in the writing you had heard like that we would hear the drums, and then you hear the drums come in.
So ominous.
Yeah, very cool. Very foreboding.
Yeah, drums in the deep. Yeah, then we get a big old orc battle with a troll coming in.
Yeah, they got the cave troll. A lot of really cool shit in this.
Yeah.
A lot of cool like sort of character moments, fucking Frodo hiding behind the column, like, from like the cave troll. and
Or
then
like Sam with his like pot, his pan. He's
yeah,
fighting
just
the
going
orcs with
for
it.
it. Yeah.
I mean, again, I always struggle. Like these orcs are worthless. Like these
Yeah.
hobbits are
I feel like in the
just
books
taking him
they
to
do
town.
such a good job of like
So
making it feel so fucking scary. But I just like really quickly,
yeah,
and then I love Legolas with the chain shooting him in the head,
yeah,
and the way that ultimately like Mary is, or is it Pippin? Pippin is left on him, and like Pippin stabs it in the fucking head to make it like turn its head up,
yeah.
so that Legolas can get like the
Very
killing blow.
cool.
Very cool moment
Yeah.
because he is the one who like started all the.
I mean,
the
Legolas
jangling.
running up the chain. That's so
It's very
sick.
cool.
Oh, but yeah, in the book, they just kind of seal off the doorway and some break through and they kill like a few that like are trying to get in and that kind of like makes them scatter. They're like rethinking how they're going to break in. And that's all the action you get here. Very grounded, very real. But again, I understand this like throw a troll in there. You got a big freaking action set piece. Why not?
Yeah. I think I might have liked it more if it was a little bit more grounded,
Because
like
it's more
that.
tense in the
more,
book, right? Because it's
yeah.
just like, we can't fight this army. We're just 9 people.
But like, yeah, they're all kind of superheroes in like in this
It
telling
feels
of
mythological.
it. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like Gandalf is like super powerful, but again, because of like how the magic is sort of portrayed, it is kind of like vague of like how helpful he can be.
So yeah, in this part, he actually puts a magic seal on this room to stop the orcs from coming in, and it's actually the Balrog makes his entrance known because he shatters the barrier and the room collapses and almost kills them all. And they're basically just running from him after that.
Balrog is wild.
Yeah.
I do love that they all get fucking like surrounded after they're, because they kill all of them, but then they hear more coming, so they run off. They get surrounded by like all of these fucking like the huge army.
So creepy how there's like bugs like crawling out of the cracks in the walls.
I love that.
Stuff.
I think it's very cool.
I don't think it fits what orcs can do, but it works so well.
To me, it like they were like maybe like goblins or some other like some specific subtype of these things that like could crawl. I love the way they look though. They look really sick.
Very menacing. Yeah, and then we get the...
also we see Frodo's wearing the mithril.
Yes.
Because Sam's like so sad because he got stabbed.
Right.
Frodo's great at falling and getting stabbed.
There's a line in the extended where Gandalf's like, they don't know Frodo's wearing it, but he's like, yeah, Bilbo actually had a ring made of mithril because that's what Moria was mining. And he's like, yeah, Bilbo never knew it, but it was like worth the weight of Hobbiton, or like its value is more than the Shire or something like that.
But it is, again, it's cool how they get surrounded and then like you hear the Balrog coming and they all flee.
The weight they put on this, like the music with the chanting, whoo, whoo. And it's just Gandalf like, oh god, we're so screwed.
It's so great too because like, you know, you see Gimli too just like, ha, we fucking they're scared of us, dude. And then like, it's like, what is scarier than them? And it is this fucking ancient fucking demon coming for them.
Yeah, and I think in the lore, the Balrogs are basically like on a level with or no, they're like fire spirits or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because what Gandalf is a Maiar, which I think is also what Sauron is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Sauron and him are like equivalent in the hierarchy.
And I think these things are like on that level of sort of like power. It's implied.
Yeah, they're like
Gandalf is scared of them.
They're kind of primordial spirits of fire.
Yeah, because they're not Maiar or Ainur.
Yeah.
Like
they're not demons in the book either. It's just like a very tall silhouette of a man type figure, like a humanoid figure with like fire coming off of him. Like you can't really like see what he looks like.
Yeah, he looks crazy in this. He looks like it's straight out of like fucking Diablo.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks amazing. I mean, what an awesome design.
Yeah, I think this is some of the moments where I like the I could see some dig. But again, I'm pretty forgiving of these things, but yeah, that's also really cool. Like one of the things I like a lot about like Wheel of Time is like when they see like the fucking bad guy, like the guy who is like literally fucking like Satan, like he just looks like a guy.
Cool.
And there's something so fucking like terrifying about that.
Yeah.
Just like some dude.
Yeah. Yeah, like the silhouette description almost makes me think of like Slender Man or something, like the unknown darkness, right?
Yeah, it is cool. But again, kind of a fun choice to make him a big Diablo guy.
I mean,
too.
as a kid, I was obsessed. I mean, I still love it, but like, yeah, I love Diablo and dark fantasy and like demons and stuff. Yeah,
scary guy.
Oh, I like when they're running away. Gandalf is kind of winded, and he's like, "Lead them on, Aragorn," which felt very much like a passing of the torch moment for since you know where it's going. Like he will be taking over leadership.
I also feel like it is like I have to hold the rear because none of you can contend with this.
Yes.
I mean, he even says,
swords have no use here. I think.
yeah, swords have no use here. I also love and he also says to them like this thing is way beyond any of your abilities. I also love, I think Boromir says, "What new devilry is this?" Which is a good line. I like that line.
Yeah, the staircase jump scene. It's another set piece. I'm always a little mixed on it because like I get we need another big beat before the big showdown. It's always felt a little clunky to me.
Yeah, You know, you have like also the one thing I like from it is Boromir jumping with Merry and Pippin. Like I think that's a cool like little development, but you could easily do that with something else.
I also
right?
like seeing Legolas pick him off with his crazy
Legolas
bow
is so fucking sick. I love
awesome.
he just immediately jumps and he's like,
every shot is taking him out.
I do like the whole. There is something cool about like, oh, there's like all of these arrows coming at us, a Balrog is chasing us, and we have to get across this gap. It really feels like, oh my god, like
yeah, no, I actually like everything except just like the way the stairs fall and like why didn't you throw Frodo across first? It just feels very like this is a movie set piece versus
for sure,
like the story progressing.
Yes, I felt like that so much. I was like, why was Frodo last?
Yeah.
That's insane.
And then like lean forward, like that's not gonna tilt this massive piece of stone.
I mean, it might, depending. Yeah, it very well could.
It's like 50 tons probably.
It very well could. Well, the thing is that the reason he says it is because it's like
Tilting
coming undone. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it could. Yeah, absolutely.
You think it's feasible? All right.
Yeah, I think it's feasible. It's just a matter of working out the numbers of what it is. It's already moving, right? And it's like, but I think you could do it. But again, I don't need it. You know, just them being shot at by the fucking orcs and shit.
Yeah,
and
it could have just been them like
leaping
across, but I don't know. It's only like little nitpicks I have with it.
Yeah. It's a fun little scene. Fun is the enemy of the
and the
nitpick.
music coming in when they get across.
But again, it is almost like 3 hours long, so I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff already in here. I don't really need this.
Yeah. Yeah, they get to the bridge. And I just wrote
Have
the Balrog is so
bridge?
dope here.
Have you seen the bridge?
I've seen that bridge.
That's Led Zeppelin. Known lovers of this series.
Absolutely.
I wonder what they thought about the movies.
So Robert Plant actually, I read in an interview, said the singer for Zeppelin, for those at home, said that the rest of the band didn't know he was slipping in Lord of the Rings references.
Oh, really? That's really funny. I thought you were gonna maybe say what he thought about the movies, and it would be funny if he was like, "I hate the movies."
Yeah, I always wondered stuff like that.
So I think a Balrog is something that was maybe even created before the Maiar and the Ainur, because he does call it a demon of the ancient world.
I think it was like part of the primordial soup that made the world, like the spirits that formed the world. Like there were all these spirits, and like Morgoth was going around kind of like corrupting some of them and bringing them to his side.
Yeah.
And then, the famous, I am a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Honor. The dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udun. Go back to the shadow. So good.
Yeah.
You shall not pass.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, we were gonna do for the intro I was gonna do You Cannot Podcast. I'm a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the Shure MV7 podcasting mic. I just wanted to get that out there because I thought that was funny.
It's a good bit.
But I liked but Connor's pitch was, I think, a little bit cleaner, and also, I don't know. This is the most like known line, so we were trying to be hipsters about it a little bit, you know.
We're the cool Lord of the Rings podcasters.
Yeah, movie podcast. We're only doing Lord of the Rings after this?
Yep. Fly, you fools.
I'm not going to edit this if we're going to do Lord of the Rings
we're doing an extended edition next month, if I knew.
I quit.
Him falling, heartbreaking, but the way this like the slow motion I think works here. It's very like it's just getting you in the feels of everyone. I like the distorted like Boromir calling out and Frodo scream. And then what I really like about the sequence is when they come out into the light and it's like finally like actual runtime in the movie. We've been in the dark for so long. Now it's like beautiful scenery and it's just like the most emotionally heavy music and everyone's crying and miserable and like I just think it's so perfectly executed.
Yeah, for sure. The slow motion, they do multiple kinds of slow motion.
Yeah.
They do regular slow motion sometimes where they actually use like high frame rate. And some of those moments like look just fine to like those are great.
Yeah.
Like it's the low frame rate one that I don't really like. So the whole part of him like falling and the way like fly you fools and like the like weight to that, I thought that was all like well done. And then yeah, everyone like being inconsolable outside, but immediately
I just
like
felt it, bro. Yeah.
Aragorn is like, we have to keep moving.
And there's just the single. It's like, it would be cheesy if not done as well. But just the single teardrop from Elijah Wood, as he's walking away. I love that everyone else is just like collapsing, and Frodo just keeps moving forward and like
Yeah, he's just
only
like
stops to
standing
turn.
there like crying. I also like that he Boromir has to like pull him away from like Gandalf, right? Because
Yeah.
he's probably one of the people who's like closest with him, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like maybe him and I don't know, but I love the way that Aragorn's like, we got to keep going, and Boromir is like, give him a fucking second, dude.
Yeah.
Like, let's just like let fucking chill for a moment. I like that as like a sort of like moment for Boromir to
Right.
like seem a little bit more sympathetic. You
And
know?
then a badass moment for Aragorn of like taking charge as leader. Like, no,
Yeah.
we have to keep moving.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, to the woods of Lothlorien. Elf witch of terrible power, Gimli says. And you kind of start getting like Galadriel speaking to Frodo.
Telepathically telling him
Yeah.
I love how she's like, you are as the footsteps of doom.
Yeah.
Basically, like, why are you bringing this evil shit into my fucking domain, dude?
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah, they're taken captive. Another goofy moment from Gimli. I have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox.
And he, of course, doesn't see them or hear them come up.
I mean, he turns around after saying that with a bow in his face.
The dwarf could breathe was breathing so loud, we could hear him from whatever.
We could have shot him in the dark. And yeah, Lothlorien, gorgeous. Looks absolutely incredible. Just so like mysterious and captivating. Galadriel welcomes them. She has so many good lines, but like, yeah, this quest stands on the knife edge, stray but a little, and it will fail and it will fall to ruin.
She's amazing, dude. Kate Blanchett is so good. One of my favorite, I think, performances in this movie.
And I love her just looking at between all the characters, and there's a subtle moment of like her looking at Sam. But there's hope where the company is true. Like,
yeah, for sure.
So
also,
much good foreshadowing.
she looks at Boromir, and Boromir just like
starts crying,
just breaks down.
Yeah.
And then I love later he's like talking about how like but the shit that she's saying to him is like that
She's
there's
telling
still
him
hope.
Yeah. But I do not see it. Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so what the Balrogs are lesser Maiar that were
so they
corrupted
are
by Morgoth, aka Melkor. So yeah, they are on the same level as like Sauron and fucking Gandalf. That's another crazy thing is in this movies you're watching and you're like, wow, Gandalf and like Sauron and Saruman are like so fucking powerful, right? And I mean Gandalf not so much though. I feel like this story kind of like
until he becomes the white.
yeah,
Gandalf
and then you're
the
like, oh
White.
my god, dude.
Yeah.
But still, at a certain point, I do feel like Sauron feels so much more powerful than Saruman and Gandalf.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, like, I love how when you look into the lore, it's like, oh, those aren't even like gods.
Yeah.
They're like angels,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, there's the demigods that are like
The Ainur.
Yeah, the Ainur, and then Iluvatar. Yeah, good shit. Yeah, we get the lament to Gandalf, and yeah, Boromir, like, yeah, it's saying like even now there's hope left, but I cannot see it.
Yeah, and again, this is sick. City in the fucking like trees looks fucking dope. Very fucking cool. Again, like you said, it is like a little bit of a darker vibe, but I don't know. It looks very cool.
I'm very into it. Yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, so Galadriel kind of like magically beckons Frodo is the impression I get because he kind of like wakes up.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Boromir asking Aragorn, he's like,
Oh, this
have you
is so
seen
good.
Gondor? He's like, yeah, I saw it a while ago. And like
The silver trumpets.
Yeah,
Have
he's
the
like-
silver trumpets ever called you home? Yeah.
he's
it's so good.
saying, dude, one day you and me, we're gonna go back home together, bro. And they're gonna say the lords of Gondor have returned. And I thought that was so cute, like, cause you see that he has this like, not like naivete, but there is this like youthful hope, this this romantic view of like his city that he is like fought for.
Yeah.
And it's really touching, I
Yeah.
think. And I love the way that I had forgotten, like, I really feel like, yeah, Boromir, when I first watched it, I can't believe how much I disliked him. Because now I watch and I'm like, this guy's cool. This is like a nice guy, dude. And that's what makes the like corruption hurt even more, right?
Exactly, yeah. It's powerful. Yeah, so Galadriel magically beckons Frodo to the mirror.
Yeah, she walks by. We see her bare feet.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
a lot of
you
bare
know,
feet.
a lot of bare feet, a lot of hairy
A
feet.
lot
I
of
think
hairy
it's funny.
hobbit feet.
I think it's funny. You see her walk by, and then I think at one point it's just like there's a when yeah, because she's taking him to like the mirror or whatever, and you see just a shot of his hairy feet, and it
Yeah.
just feels like I don't
Yeah, it's
a
interesting.
little weird.
I like the way she kind of like glides down the staircase,
Yeah.
which is super cool. And then yeah, he kind of steps down.
Yeah, but she asks him if he's ready to look into the mirror.
Yeah, this is one hell of a mirror she got.
Yeah, and this is the only time we see because he sees his companions, he sees the Shire overrun by orcs, hobbits enslaved. Then you see Sauron's eye and the very cool fucking thing of like the ring being pulled
Yeah.
towards like the mirror.
Yeah, it's good.
And this is the only time we see and I think Peter Jackson made a very specific choice that he didn't want to show that like sort of like ending after the ending in Return of the King.
Yeah.
And he was like, the concession I'll make is that I'll show it like as one of the visions here in the mirror.
They've also said like the way they tried to write a lot of it is that all this stuff could be happening. We're just not showing it. Like they did visit with Tom Bombadil. We're just,
Right, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna write a book, write a movie and be like, yeah, well, when you between the scenes, you don't know what's happening. Yeah, obviously.
Well, right, but you
They
could.
could fucking meet like fucking Wayne and Garth for fucking Wayne's World. Man.
Right,
Like, they
right.
could fucking I don't know, encounter a Pokemon.
I just mean like it's cool that they had the intentionality that they didn't want to contradict those things happening. So they had to put some intention into like leaving space for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that needs a pat on the back. I don't think you need to say it out loud. Like it's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that the moments I don't see what they're doing, they could be doing other stuff.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
you
I think
also-
that's him responding to people criticizing.
Yeah,
leaving
sure.
scenes
It's
out.
just like, dude, just say like, look, we didn't think it was like essential to the telling of the story. It's not a fucking book. Like, I mean, it's easy
Yeah.
enough to understand. Like,
Yeah.
that's a funny like defense. It just feels like I'm scrambling for something. Well, we didn't say it didn't happen. They don't go, remember when we didn't meet Tom Bombadil? It's just a little silly.
Yeah, I hear
to
you.
me
I hear you.
as like as a thing to say.
I feel you. Yeah, she says, he will try to take the ring. You know of whom I speak. One by one, it will destroy them all.
Yeah. And Frodo's like, dude, I can't fucking do this shit by myself, dude. And she goes, look, man, you're literally a ring bearer. That's what this is
Yeah.
about. It's about being alone,
To
dude.
bear a ring of power is to be alone. Oh, and yeah, we skipped over her her trying like.
Oh, yeah,
being
he
offered
offers it
the
to, yeah.
ring. I love the visual effects. She kind of looks like almost like the Nazgul when we see him in the void, like the
No,
the
totally.
light, the way
She totally does.
just like green face, like.
I don't
terrifying.
love it. I'm taking a little out of it.
Oh yeah,
I
I like it. I like it.
I think it's okay. It's just like very like I don't know.
All
I think-
shall love me and despair.
I think it was a little much, honestly.
Yeah, well, I think
I do love that line though. I do love that she says, "All shall love me and despair," and all the shit she's saying about like we will have like a ruler who is beautiful and like all this shit.
And
is-
terrible as the sea.
It's so. And I love that. I love the
Yeah.
whole speech.
So the reason I kind of like that it's so over the top is because she's so like she's one of the three ring bearers. Like this,
No, I know. Yeah.
Well, just in terms of like a moment of that kind of power almost snapping and taking the ring and like it's almost like a dynamite stick's about to go off, but she snubs
I almost
it.
wish maybe just like the reason again I said that they worked so well is they're in the shadow world. I think maybe doing more practical, doing more like makeup and stuff like
Sure.
that.
Oh, so it's just the look of it more so.
I don't mind that she transforms, right? I think like it's a moment that just takes me out of it just like subtly.
Sure.
Like again, it doesn't ruin the movie for me, but
Yeah.
I'm like this looks a little silly to me.
I feel it. Yeah, and then she has that line: "Even the smallest person can change the course of the future."
Yeah, which is like one of the themes of these movies.
Hell yeah, baby! And we get Saruman given a nice little
I just
history
want to
lesson.
say I had it in my notes here as Galadriel gets freaky.
She does get freaky.
I also want to point out when everyone sees her, they're all just like, oh, like
Yeah.
everyone is like so like stunned by her
Yeah.
beauty.
I think it's more just like this power that she wields around her, like the aura of her.
I think it's both,
Yeah.
right? I think
Yeah,
it is like them feeding into each other. I mean,
Yeah.
even she comments on her beauty and like her beauty is brought up like repeatedly.
Yeah, it's
when
like
talking about
legendary in the
Galadriel,
books. Yeah.
She's so fucking hot. Dude, have you heard of Galadriel, dude? She's so fucking hot, dude. dude, I'd cut off my right arm to hang out with
The mysterious
Galadriel.
elf witch of the woods, seducing men. Yeah, we get the history lesson from Saruman, which is kind of fun, talking about how the Uruk-hai were created.
They're corrupted elves,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Which is super interesting. I
Well,
remember
he's
the
talking
part.
about how orcs are originally created.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that part of the Silmarillion where Morgoth's off doing like dark shit, and then like he has like followers that start snatching elves off, and they just disappear, and it's like never really. I think he does eventually say he's making them into orcs and stuff, but I love that just kind of like that spooky looming threat on the peaceful elvish ancient society.
And Saruman says that he's now perfected the orc with the Uruk-hai. And then we see him like getting suited up and shit. And this is where there's a bunch of the low frame rate, slow motion that I don't like. Just like I don't.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
I don't know why that choice was made.
Yeah, I think it was countered by how epic the orc theme is. I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's a cool song, but there are really cool scenes without like
I know.
low frame
I'm just
rate,
saying
slow
my
motion.
experience of it.
Yeah, it's just something for me like where it just like really stands out. It feels kind of cheesy. Like
yeah, I mean I said at the start I don't love all the slow motion stuff. It's like overused I think a bit. And yeah, the lower frame stuff can be like a little weird.
It's like weird. It's just like so jerky, and it's like I don't know why you're doing this.
Right.
But yeah, Saruman commands them to go find the hobbits and bring back the ring.
And the Fellowship leaves Lothlorien.
And they're very cool boats that feel very leaf themed.
I like that they do it as kind of a memory, where they're already like going down the river, and then it's like them thinking back. In the extended, there's a whole like they each get presents and stuff, but you just get like Galadriel giving him the the Star of Arendelle.
Yeah, the Star of Arendelle, our most beloved star, as a parting gift.
Good stuff. I love that coming. It feels like this is some classic hero's journey, like the goddess bestowing gifts to you and everything.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Great, cool wide shots of them, like
down the river,
making their way down the river.
And
there's the intercuts of the feet stomping through the woods, the orcs running through, like fading into the Fellowship, rolling down the river, and it's fading back and forth. And you can see Legolas can feel the evil closing in. Aragorn notices a crow. And the Argonath, fucking sick,
yeah,
dude.
bro.
Like,
The rest of this movie just like blows me away. I think it's so like perfectly executed. Cause yeah, the statues, and then like it's the rising sun behind the statues, which I feel like is a little like bit of hope in the visual storytelling for the future of man, right?
Yeah, there's a good sense of scale too with them rowing by. And they're not even as tall as the height of the foot.
I think they're beneath the pedestal of the foot.
It's amazing. It's really fucking cool. Then they make it to the huge waterfall and they park the boats to camp. And you can tell Boromir's like really going through some shit.
And Frodo's also like internal battle. Like I think that's what's just so done, like so well done. The rest of the movie is just like the way everything has been tightened up into this knot, and now it's all about to like explode. And and it just comes unraveling in such a like
because this is like basically like the second to last scene, like because the end is like this long continuous sort of like fight. But
this is like the calm before the storm, basically.
Yeah, and Legolas wants to leave, because he can sense something closing in. He's telling Aragorn, and then they notice that Frodo's gone, and they notice that so is Boromir.
Yeah, I also really like so Gimli's getting really cynical about the journey's path, and he's like talking. He's like, "Oh, the marshes and everything else," and Aragorn's like, "I suggest you recover your strength," and he's so taken aback.
He calls him Master Dwarf. Yeah.
Yeah, and he turns to I think it's Pip, and he's like, "Pay no heed to that young hobbit." It's so funny. Really subtle, great comedic beat. And then where's Frodo? Asks Mary.
It's creepy the way that like Frodo's just walking around and Boromir just pops out of nowhere, just like collecting firewood.
Yeah, and I love just that, like, because I think if you're first watching, you're like, what are you doing, Frodo? Why are you separating from them? It's so dangerous. But it's him like struggling with leaving. Like he's basically like trying to leave right here.
Yeah, he also like Boromir literally says to him, like, he says something about like, I can see that you're suffering, and also like, and I know like that you want to be alone because you're suffering. And I love him pointing that out, because it is like a thing where like he's saying like when people are going through a hard time, they want to like isolate, right?
Yeah.
And I think he's like pointing to that in a way.
And he's like, are you sure you don't suffer needlessly?
Yeah, I love how he like there is this like empathetic appeal to him, like, hey man, like I care about you, dude. Let me help you out a little bit. It is like somewhat self-serving, of course,
But it's all twisted in this dark obsession.
Yeah. I mean, the way he just like throws it down, he's like,
Sean Bean in this scene.
It's so good.
Amazing.
Really, really good. Yeah, it's too bad that he's only in one of the movies.
Yeah.
But I think he was really great for like Boromir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he comes for him, he like tackles him. I also love Frodo saying though, like, I know that you're not yourself. Like, I think that's nice.
Yeah.
That there's that like part of it where like Frodo's like, I'm not, like, I can feel its power.
Yeah.
I know how it is.
I know what
like,
it's doing to you.
Yeah, like
Why do you
I feel
recoil?
for you. Yeah.
I am no thief.
And I love that aspect of it too, where like Boromir's like, bro,
hurt that he's pulling
why
away
are you
from
looking
him.
at me like that?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, and that feeling is just like, yeah, dude, when somebody looks at you like that, you know, like, or just the thought of that, it feels like, yeah, it's so gross. It's like, I'm your friend. Why are you scared of me? You know?
Yeah, I think the way this escalates into him tackling him is just like perfectly executed. Like it perfectly builds up.
Yeah, and then I love that when he gets away, Boromir like realizes what he's done.
What have I done? Yeah.
And he's like trying to like, and he wants to like
crying.
apologize. Yeah,
he's just like
feels like
broken.
shit.
Yeah, it feels like he just lost the battle against evil.
Yeah, it's like he was like drunk and he was just like throwing a fit, and he's like, "Oh shit, dude!" Wakes up the next day, he's like, "What the fuck did I do?"
Exactly like that. And yeah, Frodo's running through Visible. He sees the eye. So this is interesting. This is the one time I remember in the book where Frodo does see the eye, and it's not the ring. There's like a chair at the top of this ancient ruin that's like an all-seeing world chair, and he like sits down on it, and like while he's looking around the world, seeing a bunch of stuff, Sauron hones in on him because he senses the ring, and that's like the one moment where Sauron sees him.
Wild. It's like kind of like the Palantir, the chair.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Aragorn coming up on him. Great scene. Can you protect me from yourself?
Yeah.
Would you destroy it?
Yeah, and Aragorn I love Aragorn refusing it.
But you also see him tempted. Like, you do see the temptation.
Absolutely.
I love that he recognizes his weakness here, and then he's like...
Everyone is tempted. And that's the thing that even, like, Gandalf is saying is, like, it's just, what are you going to do about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what he keeps saying. Like, it's not like, yeah, sure, life is hard, but, like, what are you going to do with the challenges you're presented with? And I love the way Aragorn closes his hand, and he tells him that he would have gone with him to the very end. And the realization, too, of, like, it's never said, which is done really well in this movie. In the last scene too, where like Boromir never outright says, "Give me the ring," right? But like they're just dancing around things, and it's really well done.
He does eventually say, "Give it to me" at the end.
Yeah, but like
you mean when they're building up to this scene? Yeah.
Yes, there's so much of like them, like, you know that the other one knows what they mean, right? And like the implications are like clear, so you don't have to like say it. And I love that because it gives the ring even more weight, because it makes it feel like this like very scary thing. And
it's
then
very subtle in its manipulations. Yeah.
And then with Frodo leaving, Aragorn isn't like, "Oh, so you're leaving," right? Like they're just talking around it. And like when he says that line, "I would have gone with you to the very end," you know, like Aragorn has realized that Frodo is leaving because he feels like he has to do this on his own.
And I think there's part of Aragorn that realizes eventually the ring would get the best of him.
Get the best of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love Frodo says, "Take care of the others, especially Sam. He won't understand."
Yeah, and it's so funny. Every time I see it, I think about my first reaction to this, where he says that, and then like Aragorn gets like a strange look on his face, like almost like he's responding to him calling Sam dumb. And
no, but he's
just
seeing
the sword light up. Yeah.
Seeing Sting glow. Frodo runs off. Aragorn faces this huge army of orcs. We get a little shot of Sam looking for Frodo. Also,
this whole sequence is so good.
Just like, and it erupts into a huge battle. You know, we have Aragorn doing a bunch of cool moves, Gimli and Legolas doing a bunch of cool moves, Frodo falling again, of course, trying to hide from the.
You get a lot of falling.
This is the part that I was going to talk about with Merry and Pippin, where they're like, "Come hide with us," and I love Merry realizing
he just sees it
like,
on his face.
He's leaving. Yeah, and then another cool moment for Pippin. He's like, "No, I'm going to stop him," and then they notice the orcs, and they're like, "Okay, fuck it. Let's try and like get them off of Frodo so he can make it away at least."
So good.
I love that, like the quick thinking, the change of like the plans.
That's their arc for this movie, right? Like they've been incompetent this whole time. Now they're putting everything on the line for Frodo.
And then Merry and Pippin are fucking surrounded, you know, and then Boromir coming to the fucking rescue. So fucking good. Off somewhere else, we have Legolas saving Aragorn, by like he's like about to like get fucking like taken out, and then the Horn of Gondor,
Yeah, man, I was already getting like in the feels just anticipating this whole sequence, but like that shot where it's just like over the orcs running down towards the Horn of Gondor with the music playing, it's just like a super crazy like I don't know, crane shot, or I don't know what they're using here. It's amazing though.
But yeah, they run off to go try and find them. You see Boromir leading the orcs away and holding them away from Merry and Pippin, blowing the fucking horn. And then the big Uruk-hai starts fucking shooting Boromir. And this scene I will always remember. Like, the way he continues to struggle and fight.
Human perseverance.
Yeah. Isildur shot in the back by 3 arrows. Boromir shot in the front by 3 arrows.
Yeah.
Like, faces his destiny head on.
Yeah.
Isildur, the coward who could not cast it away.
Yeah.
Boromir, the like redeemed, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so beautiful,
so powerful.
And it feels so very like there's like some Christian like forgiveness, like that sort of like theme here is really really like well done, really beautifully executed, and stuck with me forever after I saw this movie. Like I think
it's like one of the best sacrifices ever.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like if you were like describing the way like your D&D character died, you would be like taking inspiration from this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love that Merry and Pippin try to fight too.
Yeah, and they get taken off. Yeah.
And then we get the Aragorn boss fight.
The 1v1. Yeah.
This is best fight scene in the movie. Like the choreography is so grounded and cool.
The way he fucking pulls him closer, right?
Yeah,
and then he pulls it out and like cuts off his fucking head.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's really good.
And I love the first thing that Boromir does is he asks about Frodo. And he tells Aragorn immediately what happened.
Admits to his fault.
And he asks for forgiveness, dude. Yeah. And you can see that he's so hopeless, so hopeless.
The world of men will fall.
Yeah, and then Aragorn tells him, "I will not let the White City fall." And that's like all Boromir.
Nor our people.
That's all he needed to hear.
And
he takes so much solace in it.
Our people.
Yeah.
And then he reaches for his sword. I would have followed you, my brother, my captain, my king.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
bro. It's so good.
I definitely cried there. That was
it was getting me. So this is what the movie always does at this part, where like Boromir dies, I've seen it a million times, and I'm like, oh, it's so powerful, so good. The music's so powerful, and then just like this final scene with Frodo and Sam just like gets me almost every time.
Yeah, I definitely cried more with the Sam thing where he says, I made a fucking promise, dude. Like
so good.
I just fucking love that so much, and I love the way too where he's like you said, he's standing on the shore and everything beforehand, but when he's like calling back to him, Sam's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm going to Mordor alone." And I'm like, then he goes, "Of course you are," and I'm going with you.
Yeah, I love it. And it just Elijah Wood's performance here is so good on the shore, where it's all fear, hopelessness. He remembers Gandalf's words, and you see it like the resolve slowly come into his face, and then it's like a burning resolve, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking do this no matter what," and gets in the boat.
He's psyching himself
and
up
the music,
to fucking do it.
So good.
Because he is scared. And that's one of the super compelling things about Frodo is that he's fucking scared.
Yeah.
And he thinks he can't do it a lot of times.
Yeah.
And most heroes in these stories are so confident, right?
Exactly.
And I love that for him.
Yeah, and then Sam chasing him in the water, drowning. And this is where it always gets me, is the hand reaching through the water to grab his hand, and Sam's hand slowly tightening around it, or tightening firmly around it.
And then he holds
it
back.
And then the music swells as he's pulled out of the water, and you get that beautiful, like, just like, "I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee."
Yeah.
And I don't mean to. And one thing
the resolve.
One thing I just noticed on like the rewatches over the years is like this is a direct mirroring shot of the end where Frodo's hanging off and his hand is also loose. It's the same shot, but now it's like fire instead of water in the backdrop, right? And
that's awesome.
And his hand like clasps it in the same way. And yeah, dude, I had tears running down my face during this scene. It's just so good.
Sam is great. Sam is the emotional center of these stories.
Yeah.
Of this story.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Boromir's body going over like the falls in the boat like looks so like regal, and then Aragorn puts on Boromir's vambraces.
Yeah, and he wears that the rest of the movies.
He wears it till he dies, dude.
Oh, really? Is that in the lore? That's
No,
great.
when they show his body, like because at the end of the movie of Return of the King,
You don't see his body. It's like a vision of Arwen.
yes,
Yeah.
but like he's still wearing them
That's
then.
great. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's very, very fucking cool.
It's
You know,
just
Gimli's kind of down because he's like, I guess
It was
the
all in
fucking
vain.
fellowship failed.
Yeah.
And Aragorn's like, nah, bro, we gotta go save Merry and Pippin, bro. We're gonna go hunt some fucking orc.
Not if we hold true to each other,
Yeah.
Alfredo.
But it is funny that Gimli seems just very stoked to go hunt orc.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that got him excited.
It's just the music is just like perfectly complementary to every moment of this whole sequence.
Yeah, for sure.
It just like builds into the crescendo of them like, yeah, let's go get the orcs.
Does make me feel a little bit like he's just like a murderous psychopath a little
Gimli.
bit. Where he's like, oh yeah, let's go fucking kill a bunch of orcs.
Yeah.
The last scene, great too, the way they look out at
man.
Mordor.
The
And you can
music.
see Frodo has no fucking hope, you know. He says like, I don't think that we'll see the others again. And Sam is like,
We may yet.
Yeah, exactly. Where it is this like little light, right? And Frodo tells like Sam that he's glad that he's with him because he realizes like I need you. Like even though I wish I could do this alone, like I need you because without you, I would be lost.
It's beautiful.
Because he is so hopeless. Like or
And I just
like-
love them just like walking away towards like, you know, this doom, towards Mordor's darkness, towards their own internal struggles and all the horrors that await them. But they have each other, and the music has that little bit of like hope in it. It's just so good.
yeah, I remember when I first watched this, I was like, fuck, what an ending, dude. This is so depressing.
Yeah. Damn, bro. Well, solid C tier. No, just kidding. I'm gonna give my second S plus. Call it nostalgia. Call it you know, fantasy nerd. This movie hits me so hard. And the fact I've seen it so many times and it still hits me so hard emotionally. Love the music. Love the world building. Love the characters.
Yeah, I when I came to the movie, I was thinking like that, like, you know, nothing is sacred. So I was like thinking about like
Yeah.
what are my what do I think, like is this going to be an S tier? Is it going to be like an A tier? And I was thinking before I started watching it, I was like, there is like, I know there's like emotional content within the movie, but is there like enough really like moving sort of like, or like these things like to like amount to like what is going to transcend like an A tier? And I think that like, I think maybe because I was looking for it and I was kind of like prepared to like not quite find it, I was kind of pleasantly surprised by the movie.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, part of me feels like it is definitely like very influential movie. And there was a part of me that did want to say A, but I think that my honest answer would probably be it being at an S tier because it is juggling so many things. It is an adaptation. There are some things I don't like about it,
Sure.
but
Yeah,
I don't
same.
think that detracts to the point of, no, you said you like everything. I don't think that detracts to the point of me like wanting it to be, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's also just like a little bit like the Star Wars thing. It is like probably one of the most like influential franchises of our childhood. Like it's sort of
Yeah.
our Star Wars, you know,
Yeah.
like, and I think there's something to that, the context of that. And again, I think the thing that pushed it over the edge is, I think Boromir and Sam.
Yeah.
Like, I think those are two huge characters, and like really getting to like recontextualize Boromir and see how much I loved him and how like honorable of a guy he really was. And then Sam just being like that really emotional like center of it, and how much friendship does really come into play into the movies. Yeah, so call it an S.
Oh yeah, brother. Yeah, when I was a kid, I loved the fantasy, I love the action, I love the cool monsters, I
Yeah,
love the
I
epic
mean,
story, and then
So much left unsaid. Because it is an amazing, all of the sets, all of the production design, all of that is so good. The performances are all really really well done.
Yeah.
You know, the choices for everyone, Legolas, even like Orlando Bloom, it feels like, oh man, maybe he doesn't have much to do because he's very like sort of like stoic, but still sells it, does a really good job.
Yeah.
Visually, they all look amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it just over the years, every time I watch it, I just like the themes of the story feel even more true to me. Like they speak to my soul more over the years, and I think that's why it's just like so elevated for me.
Yeah, it's a very cozy movie too. I do sometimes feel a little like it is. I do enjoy the themes as well, but I think for me, I love fantasy, and I definitely see the like thing of like we can like just with like sci-fi, how we can comment on things that happen in society with these like sort of like stories by like heightening these different elements. But like it is always gonna hit me harder when I think it is a more grounded story.
Sure.
But all that to say, this was yeah. I mean, this is dope movie, really great movie.
Hell yeah. I'm very excited to watch Two Towers.
Yeah, I like that they called it Two Towers because it's the second movie and the second book, and the name and the word two is
That's
in there.
right.
I think that's good. Yeah, yeah, I guess that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed that. We'll be back to talk about the Two Towers next week.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess as we like to say, like, comment, subscribe, call your mother, tell your friends you love them. You don't want to kiss your friends.
Yeah. Hold their
Kiss your-
hands when they're in the hospital bed sometimes.
Kiss your friends on the forehead.
Yeah.
Kiss your friends on the mouth. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
if you want it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want
If
to.
they both want it.
Yeah, I mean, consent is very important.
Yeah.
And you know what? We'll see you in the fires of Mount Doom.
Doom.
Doom. Doom.
Potatoes.